Okay, so we're now up to session number... Where is my number? 65, nice and big on the screen. And we are currently doing Hollow World, where they're coming to the end of Night Storm, the fourth part of a four-part Hollow World adventure that has magic completely messed up. And something that the Tuesday and Friday parties get to look forward to. Because they don't get the support of Simarak, as they will have to muddy through that timeline on their own. So tonight we have everyone online because, well, COVID. So we'll start off with David, if he's available.
Ah, fantastic choice. Hello, I'm David. I play Fana Goranov, a human Ethagarian barbarian, awfully fond of horses, never gets to ride them, and is just being reminded of the fact that he used to have both a T-Rex and a woolly mammoth, but now doesn't have anything.
All pleasant memories, I'm sure.
Yes.
Actually, your
watching one get eviscerated.
It's only been like 8 months since you've seen your horse.
I'm pretty sure by the time we get back, the horse may have taken over the outside world.
That's possible.
Okay, and that brings us to Emrys.
Hi, I'm playing Simply Red / Nasty Stump / Doctor / Dinosaur Proctologist. I should point out that the dinosaur was very unwell and there was some serious defects in its cavities. And that is why...
You're not allowed to point out anything ever again.
Well, technically I was pointing in. I was pointing in, thank you very much. But I am a newly renewed Simarak follower and believe I'm going to save the world for Simarak. Hopefully. Yeah, and stuff.
Well, you
really
do,
short.
You are more religious now than you used to be, and you do have a book on medicine.
I do. It's technically just a Judge Dredd comic, but you know, I just make everyone think it's really cool.
So you want to have a visitation with Simarak, I hear. Next person.
Always.
Next person we have is Grace.
I am playing Little Miss, a previously human, now resurrected Shadow Elf wild magic sorcerer. Very happy to still be albino, currently adjusting to the fact that I'm almost twice my height now. You know, going from 4 foot 8 inches to what, around 7.5 foot or something?
About that.
So yeah, still adjusting to that, but otherwise just going with the flow. That's my general philosophy. You know, there's no room for caution when you want to sort of live life to the full. So, currently have an agreement with Simarak to temporarily follow him, as he is an ally of Karameikos in an attempt to get her god back, because, you know, a world without Karameikos is no world at all. And I think that about sums up where I'm at.
And next person up is Jeremy.
Yes, good evening all. I'm playing Dimitri, the obvious and natural leader of this fine party of organised group of people. Dimitri is a Kaldaran sage, wise man, all-round wonder that everyone is pleased to have with them at all times, so they can he can guide them down the correct path and ensure that the world is saved.
And
You
not
realise
in
that
active campaigns.
having
You
now
realise
taken on the
Dimitri-
role as the reincarnation of his racial god.
You realise that Dimitri just committed as the leader of the group to honouring Raya's payment to Simply Red and to Little Miss for the work that we've been undertaking to come on in the Hollow World, seeing as Raya has left the party.
That's only if he considers you part of the group.
He always has caveats. Give him that. Next person up is Martin.
G'day, I'm playing Willie Toscobble, a vicious halfling, supposedly, and yeah, that's it.
And last person online today is Stephen.
G'day, I'm playing Clovius, a griffin riding knight, and yeah, party's tank, I guess.
Plyman took on a whole army. Until you do that, Little Miss is not going to see you as the party's tank, because he took on a whole army as a one person and won.
Plyman's quite happy to not be a tank. Very, very happy to be a tank. Somebody else can get stabbed and shot. He will gladly dish out some pain. For once.
So how did we come to
And let's
have
face it,
Sir Clovius join us?
So Clovius joined them because he went on an expedition from another group to try to find the goblins, managed to get himself into the Hollow World, and his entire party got massacred and he flew off.
and technically we did see him when we had that big meeting and gathering when we first set out on this mission, but Dimitri completely ignored the random usurper in his homeland.
And so what we've basically learned then from the fact that his party got massacred and he flew off is that we can't trust him to be support for us all.
Well, we knew that
If we
already.
get into too much trouble, he'll just leave.
We knew that already because he's Karendian and Thiadan.
He's what now?
Also, Grace, what you're telling me is that you actually trust any member of this party.
Hey, I do trust Simply Red.
Thank you very much.
Years of piracy together does form some sort of trust and bond.
So there is honor amongst thieves.
Exactly.
And I trust Dimitri because he's essentially the GTA hacker when you're playing GTA Online. So, you know, we're still alive, so I trust him.
Has Simply Red then vowed never to take up drink again when we get back to the service?
Look, there's limits.
Remember, what happens in the Hollow World stays in the Hollow World.
He's also been sober for 8 months now, so that is his personal milestone. Okay, so you have made your way to Shappinger. You have also managed to gather all the ingredients to complete the mantra of the Emerald River. And when you return to Chatterjee, who you left at the apothecary, he tells you that he had a vision that told you where you actually had to draw the diagram. At which point he points to the floating dome over the temple in the center of town.
Okay. Dimitri's not nearly as concerned. He was half a bit outside the Hollow World.
I'm not sure whose background noise that is, but...
You can go.
Sorry.
Back in there. Yep.
See if I can get you a picture of what the temple looks like. So there is the floating dome over the temple.
Yes. That's the temple where we first managed to save Chatterjee from the rampage in Ganesh. Well, okay, Dimitri was half expecting the location to somewhere beyond the other side of the Hollow World, so
It's a
hey, a simple floating temple, cakewalk.
considering you have party members who can turn themselves into flying snakes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Makes it so much easier. Except for when someone loses their ferret.
Mm.
Or mongoose as it was.
I'm sorry, ferret?
There was a ferret that we temporarily owned when we were trying to find the white cobbers.
What happened to it?
It got dropped when the player turned into a flying snake to fly over the crowd.
More importantly, it recognised the group that it was with and ran for the hills. Fair enough.
Okay. Are you guys still hearing me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because my
Yes, indeed.
Skype is giving me the warning that my sound sharing stopped working. Can you hear music?
I'm still there.
Yeah, we can hear you. Does that mean it's not being recorded on the...
Oh no, it's been recorded. I just thought I would check to make sure it was working correctly. So
Okay.
I'll just
Cool.
just restarting that aspect of it because I have had some weird network stuff happening in the last few days. Like last night, it actually cut out on me mid game. So
Well, yes, speaking to Catechism, well, that's great to hear. We've got all the bits and pieces we need. I'm confident that I can recreate the yantra that we require.
and he tells you, he walks you through the chant you need to do while doing it.
Okay. Yep. To make sure we'll memorise the chant. That's not enough to actually kind of be drawing at the same time on a complex pattern that he only learned a couple of hours ago. He's got a chant at the same time.
Yep.
Well, we can Dimitri's prodigious capabilities. And yeah, I guess we shall move to the centre of town into the temple.
And he says to you before you head off, he'll give you some things that his dream had told him.
You're not coming with us?
His task is done when you leave this place.
If he was going to come with us, why would he need to show you how to do the drawing and the chant?
Because he didn't know until we had to go and find out. But he knew the chant, but he didn't know the drawing.
Right. Yeah, but why would he tell you the chant if he was going to come with us so he could do the drawing?
Well, because when we first set out, Dimitri was kind of hoping that he'd get a copy of the drawing and then Cassidy could draw it, but apparently that wasn't going to work.
He tells you that the dome is infested with katana assassins. They are using some device of some kind, he says. His dream is revealing that it is having something to do with the statue of Daka.
What's a katana?
Daka is
Asking as Little Miss.
Okay. He looks at Little Miss and says, Daka is a 6-armed woman. Oh, sorry, 8-armed woman.
Yes, I think she was actually asking about the katana.
Yeah.
To mention that the temple was infested with.
Oh, the katana assassins are a bunch of devotees of the gods of death, serving Thanatos at this time.
Right. And when you say infested, do you have any idea as to how many? The place was fairly crowded last time we were there. Are you saying they were all katana assassins?
He says his dream says that there are at least 30 in the floating dome.
In the floating dome, so not necessarily in the temple.
They may try to stop you.
Okay.
Actually, he says they will try to stop you.
So, do you know of any ways up into the dome that are less obvious?
He says he did not know there was a way into the dome. This is the first he had heard of it in his time here.
Right.
The dome had just been a marble floating wonder above the temple itself for as far as he knows.
Oh, okay, so I wasn't knowing it was hollow.
Yeah. It's supposed to be just a magical wonder of the world.
Right. But we've got to get inside it. Okay.
Why don't you just teleport, Dimitri, and you can take...
Are there recognised or methods of recognising these katana assassins?
He says, yes, they should all have a tattoo of a spider on the inside of their wrist.
Right. So unfortunately, not big nameplates that'll make it very obvious for the crowd.
You're saying that these are agents of death, but they have a tattoo of a spider.
Yep, that is correct. The spider here is a symbol of death.
Potentially also that...
Okay, fuck this world, because that's Karameikos, and these guys need to die.
Dimitri's about to say, yes, perhaps the Dark One has corrupted their faith.
No, the people here have always followed all the gods, and some of them have had aspects of fatalism which you found while you were getting the fangs of the White Cobra.
Just a question. Can we just fly up?
Potentially.
He says potentially
passing through the dome.
Yeah,
if you can find the opening.
Challenge.
Well, I think we'd all agree that Plumman's got the thickest skull here. So if we fly Plumman up really high and just drop him on it.
You guys are
Once he hits
assuming,
terminal velocity.
you guys are assuming that this dome is hollow all the way around, but if it's magical, there might be a part of it that just looks solid that isn't.
But you also suggested that these katana, that you mentioned that your dream agent had said that the katana had gained access to the dome, is that right?
That is correct, and it has something to do with the statue of Darker.
Right. Well, I would suggest then that potentially we can go to the temple, try and either find some of these assassins, or they'll find us, and they might be able to tell us how to get in there, or how they get in there, if we can't find evidence around this statue of a car.
Simurak may also have some sort of advice.
He's not
I mean, it
talking
is
to
in
us
his
a lot.
interest for us to get in there.
Yeah, he's not responding a lot though.
And admittedly though, his advice might have been what we just received from Cassidy.
Yeah, fair.
Because he does seem... He is the one who sends dream visions.
Yeah.
And I'm not waiting for nightfall to go back to sleep.
Yeah, no. No, considering we don't have a night.
Okay, well in that case then, if Cassidy feels that his place in this these events have been concluded, he doesn't wish to accompany us back to the temple when we first found him?
That is where the statue is.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Kind of like whether or not he's going to come with us to the thing and just confirm that if he possibly he might get some more information or more recollections of his dream when he's on the site. Oh yeah, that's the spot.
He has another task to draw off half the assassins, so you don't have as many assassins to face in the temple.
Okay.
He wishes you well, but he knows he will not be seeing you again.
Well, I suspect that if everything goes well, we'll get the Emerald River and we're out of here anyway. So, yep. No, yeah.
So he nods humbly to you all, and then he walks out.
Okay. So are people happy to be heading towards the temple as the first option? Or do you want to come and fly up and try and see if you can find an entryway?
I don't know, Dimitri, do you consider me part of the party and you're going to pay me? Because Ryan...
Waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
Pretty sure this is exactly what B1337 did in Star Wars game.
Yep.
Little Miss, you've been following since the departure of Raya.
Yeah, because you nominated yourself as the leader, and that's you committing to paying us, but you said now that you might not.
No. I never committed myself as leader. You all just naturally followed me.
I would say that equal share, maybe equal share in treasures actually is enough payments.
We would go to the end of the journey and then all rob Dimitri too.
There'd be those that would suggest that saving the world and bringing back your Karameikos might be significant payment.
Martin, what is the ground that we're standing on?
It is currently cobblestone.
Is there any loose cobblestones?
Yes, quite a lot of them are loose.
Yeah, plan to pull one out.
Yep, you got a cobblestone the size of your fist.
Mm-hmm. Plan to wait for Dimitri to keep talking.
Well, I said Dimitri's already headed towards the temple at this stage.
Apparently he's walked off on you.
Having stated the fact that saving Karameikos in the world is likely to be payment enough for anyone.
Simon hurls a rocket, Dimitri's back.
Okay, give me a attack roll with disadvantage.
Somebody want to throw a roll out for me, please?
Do you want me to?
You know what? Yeah, I do actually. I really do.
I'll see what I can do for you.
Hey, double 20s.
One of them can 18.
Yeah, what's the other one?
4.
Oh, no!
12.
Okay, you throw it. It seems to be going directly for his head, and then it just drops short.
Divine power at work, obviously.
Back up. Yeah. Simon's going to pull another one out.
Yep, you have no problems pulling another one out.
Yeah. He's just going to continue to follow Dimitri.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Do the rest of you follow Dimitri?
Yeah.
Of course. So, did you guys want me to check if we can fly into the dome, or?
Yeah, you can go and have a look.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright,
I reckon if you're going to do that, it's probably worth maybe trying to touch it in places as you fly around, just in case some of it is an illusion and you can just kind of go through it somewhere.
Yeah, you can sort of stick your lance out and drag it around the side.
Yeah.
Something red grabbing the popcorn.
That's a good idea.
Remember, as you think about doing this, that you are talking about the most holy place in the centre of a town of umpteen million people. In a city specifically designed that everybody in the city can see that place all at the same
I'm
time.
pretty sure that it's a solid argument to say that we're trying to get rid of the death assassins that are currently inhabiting it.
I'm happy to cast invisibility on Stephen.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cool.
So you cast
Would
invisibility.
invisibility be cancelled if I was scraping something with my
No,
lance?
it's
or...
only if you attack something.
But noting that invisibility is less effective in the hollow world.
So in the hollow world, when you're invisible, you look like the predator moving, so people can actually see the shimmering field that encompasses you.
Predator invisibility.
Yeah.
So, you cast invisibility on my griffin and me.
He never actually stated that one. He said on you, so it would be an interesting thing of your griffin flying up with no mount, no person on top of it.
Well, I guess they can't see me stabbing the thing with my lance, so that's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might see a griffin flying around if it's a good omen.
Yeah, it would certainly be an omen from their perspective.
This
Definitely an
horrible
omen.
scratching noise.
Okay, so
Well, I do that.
as you watch, you see the griffin fly up, and then you see a line start to form on the outside of the dome as the rider starts to scratch his lance along the edge of it. And the weirdest shrieking noise you hear as whatever he's hitting doesn't sound like he's scraping along stone or metal.
So what you're saying is he just keyed their dome.
Yeah, pretty much he's keying their dome.
And is this happening as we're approaching or nearing the temple itself?
It is. As you notice, everyone look up and stare in horror as this line starts to form following this griffin along the side of the dome.
And I'm assuming this place is still very crowded at this stage, isn't
It
it?
is extremely crowded. You can see quite a few 100,000 people in the vicinity looking up.
Dimitri will start yelling, saying, "Away! Escape! Obviously the Immortals are destroying the dome. Escape before it collapses."
Okay, give me a persuasion roll, whatever that is.
Yeah, it
Yep,
is
persuasion.
persuasion. But I would have thought that'd be more deception.
It's alright, don't worry, we'll see what happens.
It makes no difference to Dimitri. He's got -1 in any of that sort of stuff.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow! -1? I get 18.
You get 18. Okay, you watch as people near you who hear that unfortunately start to kill themselves.
Nice.
Because that is their belief. If the Immortals are destroying their sacred temple, they must sacrifice themselves to fix it.
Blavin looks at Dimitri and just laughs.
Hey, the effect
Can
is
I
there.
jump up on someone's shoulders and wave?
Innocents won't get harmed but during the combat with the Kitani, so it's all good.
And can I be like, Proteus would let you live? And just like,
As you watch, everyone in earshot seems to have killed themselves at this time.
Blavin throws the rock at Simply Red.
Dimitri is continuing to say, "Clear out, escape, or run away."
They are technically escaping.
Excellent.
Escape into the afterlife.
I got a natural 20 on dexterity, Martin,
Yep.
to dodge that rock.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
That's okay. I just rolled for hitting. You didn't need
I'm
it.
on fire today.
It's okay. Last night, every second roll was a 20 on that dice.
It was painful last night.
Okay.
Blavin just sneers at Simply Red at the mention of Proteus.
Okay, but you find you have a much clearer road to the temple now that most people in the vicinity have died.
Shouldn't there be like a Mexican wave of ritual suicide, considering I see everybody else kill themselves?
That is happening, yes.
Oh, it.
Dimitri's on the lookout for those that may be less influenced by the potential imminent destruction of the dome
The unfaithful.
as we continue to move forward.
So at this point in time, I would say Dimitri has the highest kill count of the party.
Hey,
That's upsetting.
I know. Because that
it's just
army-
a number of Dimitri's accolades.
Yeah, you know why though? It's not from bad guys, it's from all the previous parties.
Okay.
Dimitri's got nothing to do with this as far as he's concerned. He doesn't control their beliefs. He was trying to get them away so they don't get caught in the crossfire. But hey, if they've got their technique of escaping, that's up to them.
Okay, so after about 10 minutes of this, you reach the temple. And inside the temple, no one seems to have heard your plea or watched the sacrifices being made to save the temple.
Can we hear the scraping still?
You can still hear the scraping going on.
Dimitri will be announcing the fact that escape, run away, get out of here.
As you see flakes of it falling outside.
Sorry?
You see flakes of it falling to the ground outside.
Yep. Okay, and I'll call out. Okay, the dome is collapsing. Run.
Can I pick it up and see, like, pick up some of the flakes and see if I recognise what it's made of?
Yeah, you pick it up. It seems to be some sort of crystalline material.
Huh. Does it look
It's human
valuable?
flesh.
You don't recognise what it is because you've never touched anything like that before.
Is it shiny crystalline, like gems?
It's dull now, but it was shiny when it was floating.
So I could potentially polish it up and sell it as a gem.
Possibly, but it basically just is dust in your hand.
Ah, that's a shame. I might gather up some of the dust and put in my components pouch, though.
Yep. That's a good thing to
Just
do.
in case, you never know. It is magical.
It is. And Dimitri gets to make another persuasion roll. See how much on fire he is today.
Okay, a 4 total this time. He got so used to it, he wasn't putting effort into it anymore.
Okay, they seem to have
Or maybe
ignored
he was a
you.
bit disturbed by the results he was actually getting.
So you do see over 40 people of different castes bowing and paying homage to the statue of Darkar and offering candles and grain at its base.
Fireman's going to take a strength-based intimidation check by bashing something against something and yelling at them to run and flee.
You're going for the physic giant. Everybody, move!
No, more of a hold spree.
Okay, give me an intimidation roll.
So roll it.
Apparently the dice loves you today, so I just got a 15.
Okay. Can it be a strength based or does it have to be charisma based?
I'm happy for it to be strength based. As you flex.
That's going to be somewhere around +7, I think.
Okay. So you do this. You do this very much Hulk roar, screaming at the people who just turn and kneel with their heads bowed towards you.
And you said that there was about 40 or so at the statue of Dakar.
Yep.
Are there other statues?
You're watching other people slowly running away from the temple, and some of them are killing themselves, having watched everyone else kill themselves.
Okay. Hi. The whole place was overcrowded anyway. They were going to run out of food soon, so...
And you notice all the 40-odd people in front of the statue are all bowing at Plowman in some form of supplication.
Are they looking at him or looking down?
Looking down.
Plowman looks to Dimitri and just sort of shrugs.
Okay. While they're distracted by Plowman, Dimitri's going to aim to duck into the shadows behind bits and pieces and aim to work his way quietly around to the back of the pillar in the statue in some way.
Okay.
Plowman gives a lecture on the ethics of horse breeding and how to make sure that you do not inbreed horses. But he does it in a really scary way.
Okay, would a 22 hit Dimitri?
You would, yeah?
For the
Okay.
best news I've heard all day.
Can Dimitri make a Constitution saving throw?
Second best news I've heard all day.
Probably got a reasonable chance. 20.
Okay, you
The
take,
least best news I've heard all day.
you take 4 points of damage as you get hit by some sort of dart in the neck.
Okay, they get taken up by the arcane ward.
Okay. And I will return that. Don't think I... Yeah, because I still got you on 60 then. Okay. And you see that it seems to have some sort of toxin on it.
I missed that, Karen.
It seems to have some sort of toxin on it.
Okay. Any idea where it came from?
Behind you.
Hello from the Gold Coast.
You safely made it across the border.
Oh, we got a fire in our mix now, have we?
I really irritated them. I went to the wrong place. I got some angry cops looking at me.
Well, it's your first time crossing in a while, so you're bound not to know how they want you to do it.
Yeah, it's their fault. It's obviously their fault.
Okay, so, yes, looking behind you, Jeremy, give me a perception roll.
11 plus... Total of 19.
Okay, hanging in the rafters upside down is a guy in a black uniform. His hand outstretched towards you.
Sorry?
His hand is still outstretched towards you.
I will return his compliment with a firebolt as I take cover as I look around for any other opponents that might be there active.
Just before you do that, Dimitri, like, I know I haven't been around, so it hasn't been happening, but last time I played, Martin did say that anytime anyone in our party casts a spell, I have to roll for the wild magic table.
Mm-hmm.
So just consider whether you still want to proceed.
Well, Dimitri's working on the idea that he's a bit separated from you at the moment anyway, having stuck around the side, so...
I'll just say he's not close enough to trigger it right now, so you're lucky.
I'm happy with the fact that he's been thinking, hang on, come and hit him. That's not fair. So, but yeah. AC 27 on the spell attack roll.
Okay, how much damage?
12 points of fire damage.
Okay, so he manages to deflect part of it away from him.
And sorry, I just remembered, technically I needed the Arcana check to actually get that off, didn't I? Which I did too.
He manages to deflect part of it, but not all of it, and drops off the rope he was hanging onto.
Good.
With a loud thump.
And as he falls, I will allow others to come to the conclusion that, oh my god, now people are falling from the roofs. Okay, Dimitri's aiming to take cover and looking around to see if there's any others hanging from ropes or ceiling bits and pieces.
So I will ask people for their initiative roll.
Jeremy, can you roll initiative for me?
I can do that.
9 for me.
So I got an 8 for me and a 10 for you. So that means
I'm on advantage.
Okay, I will do that. So Dimitri's got 11. Plowman's got a total of 13 plus his initiative.
Pretty sure 2, so 15.
What did Willie get?
14.
What did Simply Red get?
A mighty 6.
Very
Nice.
mighty 6. What did Little Miss get?
In typical keeping with my rolls, I got a 5.
Nice.
What did Circleovis get?
Oh, I got a 17.
A 17. That is a nice roll. And apparently the bad guys are in keeping with their usual rolls. And so Clovis is first up, hearing the sound of a crunch.
But isn't he still flying around the dome outside at the moment?
Well, probably. Oh no, he is still flying around the dome. So I will give you. I'll give you a perception roll to see what you notice.
Have you found the next hook yet?
I got perception. I got a 13.
Okay, so you do notice that there are a lot of people dead around the temple right now. You don't know why. Maybe something you're doing is killing people.
I would have nothing to do with that.
So these aren't people that have committed suicide because of Dimitri. These are dead for other reasons.
Oh no, these are the people who committed suicide because of Dimitri.
Right, so it looks like they've stabbed themselves. They're not being murdered.
Yeah, the Kool-Aid guys.
It's very hard to tell with the amount of blood and the way the bodies are all lying.
So I can't see the party, and
No.
I'm still keying the
Keying the dome.
Well, I guess I'll just keep doing that.
Okay. It is making a very annoying screeching sound as you go across it, dropping a trail of dust behind you.
I'm assuming he hasn't found what the been illusion or anything like that so far.
Not yet.
Can Simply Red scream out, Hans being the Panzerfaust?
He can on his, and then it
We
is.
need the tank. It was terrible, but I'm not backing down. We need the tank. I thought it was funny.
It is Playman's go. You heard the
Does
thump
Playman
of
see
someone.
any other hostile?
Well, you heard the thump of someone falling down. I'll give you a perception roll. You can see about 30 odd people in the area, all looking at you with hands in their clothing.
Yes, all those guys that were bowing to you are now looking up and appear to be in a crouch position ready to charge.
No, they're still worshipping me. They're grabbing something that they would be worshipping me with. And old mate Thuddy Boy, he's still moving.
Yeah, the flying griffin outside is still screeching away.
No,
And-
that's not as in the guy who fell.
The guy who fell is rolling around on the ground. Yes.
Alright, the briefs roll over to him and a stabbity stab.
Okay.
Just one thing I'm curious about from a player perspective, Martin.
Yep.
Have we got a third of our party almost dead at the moment?
You do. You haven't had a chance to actually have a full rest.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna do a slashy stab on old mate on the ground.
Yep.
Is it something that's gonna require a roll?
It is.
Jeremy, you are once again up.
Natural 20 for you.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That's your second in a row after Martin rolled natural 20 for your perception.
Yep. You're killing it tonight.
Literally. Can we get
I believe he's dead.
And I would actually say that with the amount of damage you took falling, at the fire damage, and the fact that you made a critical hit with your weapons, he's not coming out of that one.
Yeah, he's going to another realm.
If he's not dead, then he's obviously the big bad. We can take him out. Now identify him.
Okay, then it is Willie's turn.
Yeah, so Plumman once again looks at Dimitri and like, dude, what the hell? Because what he does know is it's a very rare occasion that Dimitri actually uses offensive spells.
Unless it's a kill steal.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's thinking, I don't know, he might have seen the dart go through and thought, wait on, that guy attacked Dimitri and immediately returned to fix himself. Gee, I'm glad those rocks missed.
No, the thinking was that Dimitri is a sneaky little shit who never does any actual work, so if he's actually casts an offensive spell, something needs to die.
How would
is
Willie...
there a way to get into the domed tower without killing everyone?
There is, but whether you can
Yeah.
find it or not remains to be seen.
Yeah, well, we've already found most of the way. We get them to kill themselves.
Yeah, okay. everyone. Not kill everyone.
Oh no, we don't kill them.
But yes, but if you may have noticed or not the fact that there are certainly at least 30 or so people in here that have a murderous glint in their eye right now for those people who have just entered the temple.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, how many people could I get with a fireball?
You could get probably all of them, including those who seem to be head bowed, not looking at you.
Okay, cool. I'll do that.
Oh,
Okay,
amazing.
you get to make a caster check. That is history roll for you as a bard.
Yeah.
God, I hope this fails and it like turns into a nuke.
Well, he's
Well, we'll see what the
DC
wild
18.
magic table
I was going to
is.
say, yeah, so the effort is
16.
really close to Little Miss.
I'm
Six-
so excited.
16 total.
No, with a +6, so 22.
So it does go off, and what magic effect does happen on the field because you're standing next to Little Miss?
Little Miss rolling
I'm
her.
just rolling now. Oh no.
Power.
Willie turns into a potted plant until the start of his next turn.
No worries.
He is incapacitated and has vulnerability to all damage.
Because the spell go off.
But if he drops to 0 hit points, the pot breaks and he just reverts to normal form with his hit points.
But does the spell go off?
Yeah, that's what we checked first. The spell went off.
Guys,
Yep.
guys. This is all very important and all. But he just became one of those stupid plants in Mario Brothers that comes out of the hole and shoots the fireball.
No, the fireball doesn't happen. This happens instead.
Oh, boo!
So,
So he's turned himself into a potted plant.
you see Willie do this amazing thing. The spells start to go off and then return to him, and he turned into this little cute, adorable plant.
But then to tell we don't know exactly what he was attempting to do, he was actually just trying to provide a natural camouflage in the location.
Okay,
Excellent hide.
Yes.
Dimitri is now up. As Willie has shown the best use of stealth yet.
Sorry, was that
Welcome
move
to wild magic in the party. In the hollow world. It normally doesn't affect things as much as this, but because we're in the hollow world, it's like crazy, like affects everything.
Awesome.
Most people don't cast next to the wild mage. So Jeremy, you're up.
I'm up. Can I see any more hanging from rafters or anything like that at the first time?
Yes, you can see at least 10 up in the well, 9 now up in the rafters.
How high up are they?
They are about 30 feet up.
And what sort of area are they covering?
They are spread out over about 80 feet.
Okay. Yeah, Dimitri will just go for shooting with his crossbow, I think. Yeah. Do they happen to have, or do I happen to get advantage because they're trying to hang from a rope at the same time?
No, because that's basically what they're good at.
Yeah, I thought it might have been. It would have been nice. AC 12 with my +6.
Okay, your bolt flies over and passes right past one of them.
To cut the rope of the one behind. Just missed. And then I will continue to aim to get better cover from any of their actions or positions.
Hang on. Is Dimitri Trump?
Well, he's attacking
Because
and
every time
Probably.
something,
He's got enough arrogance.
every time something bad happens, he just turns it into something good.
I do have to say, though, he is a lot smarter than Trump, so you got to give him that much credit.
I feel like you're damning him with fake praise there. By saying he's smarter than Trump.
He does have really fake-looking red hair.
He does have
Dimitri misses the target by a mile. No, fake news, fake news. I almost hit that road.
Okay. So, you have a bunch of darts start flying through the air towards Plowman. So, would a 15 hit Plowman?
No.
Would an 18 hit Plowman?
No.
Okay, so about 10 darts go flying past you.
That was his best impression of the scene where everybody's shooting at the mast from the mast.
And unlike Dimitri, they couldn't claim they were going for the guy behind you.
Okay, one of them is going for Dimitri, hitting armor class of 21.
Thank you.
Yeah,
do I get the advantage for the cover that I was taking or anything like that?
You did, because you had only one attacking you instead of 10.
Okay.
So
Yep, that hits.
he takes 7 points off your arcane shield.
And that takes down the arcane shield, and I take 2 points of damage.
Okay, at which point you should have your constitution roll at that point.
Constitution... 17.
17, okay, you're still standing.
Of course I am. Well, crouching.
Okay, a bunch of missiles get thrown at Simply Red. Would a 18 hit Simply Red?
Technically yes, but because I'm so short, I feel like it would go over my head.
No, just the points.
Yeah.
Okay, so you end up taking about 15 points of piercing damage.
How much am I down to?
That would put
It'll be
you
like 8
on to 23.
So I'm down to 23?
Yeah, because you hadn't actually been harmed previously. I've got you out of 38 and... Oh, sorry, that was wrong person.
38?
That was wrong person.
So you must have more than 38.
That was Willie.
surely.
I was gonna say... Did you have it because of my height, you heightist?
Oh, you've moved.
Sure,
I
people
know.
have feelings too.
Well, no, it's much worse than
Yeah,
that.
only
because
half
you
the
are
damage.
actually damaged.
You are down to 10.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yep.
Now you get to make a constitution saving throw.
So like 10's not gonna do much, is it?
Rerolls exist.
Is 10 your final result?
Do we have rerolls?
You do.
I'm gonna use a reroll.
Okay, so if it is higher than your current roll, you can use that.
Hang on. What did he need to roll? Just before he does that, what did he need to roll?
He can't know that.
Constitution
We don't
saving
know.
The target
Um,
number is not
Constitution
known.
saving throw, it's normally bad if he fails.
I rolled the 1, but because I'm a halfling, can I use my innate ability to reroll again?
I will allow you to use that up.
Sorry?
I will allow you to use that up.
Fuck off.
Natural one.
What was your roll, Emrys?
I rolled 1 again.
Sounds just like last night.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
It's not!
No, shush. I'm going to spend 2 sorcery points to Ben's luck. Because you've told me in the past that can prevent crit fails.
You can,
But it's
yeah.
not going to be a quick fail anyway. Because he goes back to the 10 that he originally rolled.
Oh, thank God.
Yep.
Like, you don't take the 1, you take the first roll.
Yeah.
Probably not high enough to actually pass, but it won't be a critical fail.
And he rolled a 10 originally, did he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I can't make enough of a difference to that, I think,
That's
depending on
fine.
what the thing is, so I'm not going to spend 2 sorcery points on that. Not for a 10.
Okay.
Emrys, can you do me a favour and just roll a d20 on small for me, please?
3.
You're cursed.
I'm not using this dice anymore.
Good way.
Okay.
Okay, so people notice Simply Red start to froth at the mouth.
Excellent.
Okay, so
He's gone first.
a bunch of missiles fly towards Willie. Would a 16 hit Willie?
Hit the pot plant. Hit the pot plant.
Oh, that's right. Correct. You are a pot plant.
I'm vulnerable.
They're not going for you because you're a pot plant. They are going for Little Miss.
You passed your hide check.
You are not a target at this stage because, well, who would attack a pot plant?
Who would attack a pot plant? Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
As the partner of a crazy plant person, me.
There's nothing wrong with a bowl of uranium falling down beside the whale.
You don't have $7,000 worth of indoor house plants in your house.
Okay, so
Sorry, go on.
what is simply
Would you
so
go
what
out
is
your
Little
way?
Miss's armor class?
Little Mrs. Armor class, because now I just need to check with my wild magic what happens with my mage armor these days, because I know that if I didn't have wild magic, it would be doubled in the Hollow World.
It's still doubled,
And-
and I'll say that it goes off without a hitch with your wild magic. As one of the spells that's actually
normally
supported.
I do that like outside of combat, so it's running all the time. So
Well, it runs for 16 hours at a time, so you can
Yeah.
easily set it up.
yeah, so my AC then is 15.
Okay, so it does still hit you.
Yep.
Okay, so you take 8 damage and get to make a con saving throw.
Oh my god, I rolled an 18. Like I rolled a 16
Nice.
plus 2 is 18.
Okay, so yes, you seem to be
Fail.
unaffected by it.
Oh, I get plus 5 to my con saving throws. That's cool. Sorry, it doesn't matter because I passed anyway. So I do what now?
You aren't affected by the poison.
Oh, excellent.
You take the damage, but you still
Yep.
you're not frothing at the mouth. You
Sim-
haven't gone berserk like. Done.
Simply Red gets to make another con saving throw.
So I've got a new character that I've written up,
Yep.
right?
That's like
So I just rolled a 2. And con,
Didn't you
yeah,
get
so
that?
that's a 5. It's a new D20.
So you would like to stay with the 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so Simply Red slumps over onto the ground. Little Miss's turn.
I will.
Hey, you probably slumped over the ground from the damage taken as much as the poison.
I'm gonna go over to Simply Red and try and stabilize him just with regular medicine.
Okay, you do see froth pouring out of his mouth.
Yeah. I don't have a healer's kit or anything either, so I can only do like, I don't know, try and force him to throw up, I guess. Something.
I think you can still do a medicine roll without a healer's kit in this game. So
Yep.
give me a medicine roll.
That is a total of 10.
Total of 10?
Yep.
Okay, so you think he's poisoned.
But I can't stabilize him in any way.
You can't figure out how to stabilize him.
So, yeah. Cool. I guess I will try and drag him out of the line of further fire.
So basically, you can stop him. You could have stopped him from a death save, but he's not at a death save yet.
Yeah.
But you can drag him out of the line of fire.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay. So if he had been dying, you would have successfully stabilized him.
Yeah.
Sir Clovis,
Yep.
you do notice that beneath you, inside the temple, which you can see into, that your party is currently surrounded by black cloaked figures throwing strange flashing weapons at them.
Oh. How can I see that?
Because your griffin was looking in their direction, and you just looked where your griffin was looking.
Because remember, the top of the temple is actually open.
It's floating.
The dome that you're floating on is floating above the temple itself. So there's actually an air gap effectively between the bottom of the dome and the top of the temple wall.
Okay. How far away is are these people from me? Like
They would be about 30 to 80 feet to hit the ones in the rafters, and about 100 to 120 to hit the ones in the ground.
Okay, well, I'll fly over to the closest one in the rafters and make a charge attack at them.
I am happy with that.
All right. Didn't roll very well.
What did you get?
I got a 15.
Okay, with a 15, you just miss him, but you do manage to hit the rafters he's standing on, forcing him to try to save himself. He manages to grab a rope and not fall down from the height as you go past.
Okay, I get 2 attacks. Can I make a second attack?
You can attack another one on your way past.
Okay.
Happy to give you a charge on it as well.
Okay, I rolled significantly worse. I got an 11 this time.
Okay, you miss the person and the what they're standing on, but you do get out of their reach. Okay,
sorry.
You do fly past them.
Okay.
Willie is up next. You are no longer. Sorry, Playman is up. Then it's Willie.
Okay.
So Playman is
How
up now.
high are the people in the rafters?
They are about 30 feet up.
Too far, almost.
But you've got lots of enemies on the ground anyway.
You do.
Yeah, no, that's okay. All right, let's walk up to the nearest ground guy
Yep.
and stand 10 feet away from them and attack.
Okay.
Jeremy, if you could help me out here, please.
10 on the die.
It's going to be 18, I think.
That is a hit. You strike him soundly.
Okay, I can't actually look at my damage. My character shoot at the moment, so I'll have to just go back to that.
It's okay. I was just about to look up the damage your item does, because that will at least help.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just in a bit of a area at the moment.
All good. You're driving, so I'm trying not to have you do too much stuff at the same time. Are you using the halberd or the glaive?
The shitty Dimitri thing.
I was going to say, obviously Dimitri's weapon.
It's a Rancier, isn't it?
It is the glaive of Halev's return.
Yeah, the glaive, that'll do. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's also upgraded with weapon expertise or whatever it is.
Yep. I'm just going to look that up now.
Weapon mastery.
Just make sure I got all the right things in play. Glaive is there. Okay, so you are at least an expert with it, so it's doing 3d8 damage.
3d8?
Plus 6.
Plus 6.
10, 20 points.
Okay, he's still standing after your first strike.
Yeah, second attack, please, Jeremy.
13 on the die, so that will presumably
That's a hit.
Yeah.
For 10, 20 damage.
Okay, he goes down for the second swipe.
Cool. Oh yeah, Barnum's gonna rage.
Okay. Then it is Willie's turn. You pop out of plant mode.
Oh, okay, cool.
What would you like to do
have they
now?
all spread out, and is it a little bit less efficient to cast fireball? Or...
No, it is still quite efficient, and at the added advantage, you can catch Playman in the blast this time.
But you may also want to move away from Little Miss before doing it.
Yes. What's the minimum?
Although, in fact, actually, Little Miss might have already moved slightly anyway, didn't she? 'Cause
She did,
went
yes.
to
I've been dragging. I've simply right out of line of fire, so I'm probably.
I can move 30 feet, so I can get away from her.
So you move
But
you move
it's
30
probably
feet
more
and then cast.
Plarman it's getting Plarman in the area of effect that I am less excited about.
Okay, you can set
Especially
it.
when you find us.
You can set it just in front of him, so it misses him.
But you won't necessarily get as many of them. So.
Okay, I can live with that.
So history check to get the spell off.
Alright, so that's a 10. What?
Plus your +8 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, +8.
That's just enough to get it off.
I was going to say,
Okay.
it's a third level spell, so you got what you need.
Alright.
It goes with a nice resounding boom. A ball of flame appears in the chamber. How much damage do you do?
35.
35. Okay, you see. You see probably about 50 odd bodies burning around the statue. As the statue itself starts to bend with the damage done to it.
Is
Can
that
anyone
with
smell bacon?
What was that,
the
Martin?
burning spiders? I'm not sure what they smell like.
So you've basically got a bunch of dead assassins and parishioners, and the statue itself falling, starting to topple sideways.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll
Simply
avoid
Raiders
that.
very familiar with the smell of burning flesh, aren't you?
I
cop
think
out foam.
by reputation, as a halfling, we are familiar with it, but not actually.
But now that you've cooked your food, you can go and eat it, is that right?
Something like that.
Something like that, yes. Dimitri's now up.
Well, how close am I to the currently starting to topple statue of Dakar? Having been moving towards it,
Okay.
moving
So,
carefully, obviously. Can I get there this round?
you can get there this round. You rush towards it.
Oh, no, so I'm still aiming to move with cover and things like that, so I'm not I'm not running to it. And I'm guessing that there's less fight than those on the ground now. How many were still up in the rafters, approximately?
There's still 9 up in the rafters.
Okay, I'll take another shot with the crossbow,
Mm-hmm.
and
One of them is
Okay.
technically hanging from a rope, though, because he had to
Jump
catch
off.
a rope on the way.
yeah, well, a lot of them actually hang from rope. I get your question. So,
A lot of them hang upside down.
17 on the die, so that's going to
That is a
be
hit.
significantly hittable, I think.
How much damage do you do?
23 and damage. Total of 9 points of normal piercing damage.
Okay, he tries to deflect it, but goes through his hand into him. And he still manages to maintain hold of the rope.
Okay. And then, yeah, I'm aiming to effectively then get to the statue and see if I can find anything obvious on it as to why this might be important to the Katanas as to how they could get up into the dome from this statue. So.
Okay, give me a perception roll as you reach the statue.
15, 23.
Okay, you notice that there is some sort of compartment at the base of the statue that's cracking.
Oh, well, that makes it easier to find then. The statue falling over and leaving a bit of a compartment behind it. Well, in that case, yeah, I will, probably my next round be to see if I can access that compartment before it becomes inaccessible.
Okay. Okay, so the guy who had the arrow stuck in him manages to pull it out without falling off the rope, but that is his whole action. Another one is throwing missiles at the flying knight. And I don't think a 12 will be good enough to hit him. Is that correct? Sir Clovis.
Are you there, Stephen? I'm going to assume that his AC is better than 12 anyway.
I assume his AC is better than 12 and he's probably on mute at the moment.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted.
It's all good.
Yeah, my AC is 20.
Okay. Then one of them is trying to hit Dimitri, even though Dimitri's being careful. Which seems to be their luck as they get a 22 to hit Dimitri, doing 6 points of damage and forcing Dimitri to do a saving throw.
14 AC. No, sorry. 14 on the total.
Okay, you start to start frothing at the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is another one is attacking Little Miss. Well, it was bound to happen. Another natural 20.
Oh God.
So Little Miss.
Also, sorry to interrupt, but just so you know, Martin, for Willie, anytime that the wild magic table takes effect and replaces your spell, it does not use a spell slot.
Yeah, so
you don't lose that fireball.
Yeah, so the fireball that you cast that turned you into a plant doesn't take up a spell slot.
Okay, no worries.
So
We've got 2 left.
Little Miss takes 10 points of damage and gets a Constitution saving throw.
It appears saving throws are the only thing I can do well tonight. That is a 24.
You are fine.
10 damage, you said, didn't you?
It was 10 damage, yes. And the last one is attacking Willie. The others are repositioning themselves. So he hits an armor class 19. Does a 19 hit Willie?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So Willie takes 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And gets to make a saving throw. Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. I don't think I'm particularly good at that. Yeah. 5.
Okay. You happy with that roll?
I don't think I get a chance to change it.
Well, there's rerolls available.
Oh.
You can use a reroll if you wanted to.
Well,
hang on, what was the roll first?
It was a 5.
Yeah.
So I've got no bonus for it.
And considering a 14 failed,
then I don't think it's worth me burning a reroll
That is fair.
on this.
Okay, so Willie also starts to foam at the mouth. Okay.
Sorry, team.
Simply Red is up to his third Constitution saving throw.
So my new character shows up.
New D20.
Yeah, I've just got a new D20 and I rolled a 3, so it's a 6.
Oh God.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to use one more of those rolls?
8.
Okay, so
I'm gonna die.
your character is now in the dying part, which is where Little Miss can stabilize you.
Hooray!
Hopefully.
Potentially.
That is what I will do. Also, it's worth noting that positive things can come out of that table too.
Yep.
We just haven't seen them yet.
Oh no, the resurrection was
I did
positive.
get reincarnated, so there was
True.
that.
Yes, that's right. And well, technically, something like, I mean, when Dimitri got affected by the levitation spell,
That was
that wasn't necessarily a penalty. It just was a huge problem for what he was trying to do at that moment in time.
That was true.
But there are definitely things that can be beneficial to us in a combat that can happen. It's just the risk of it's wild magic, so we don't know what I'm going to roll.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to try and stop my friend from dying.
Yep. Medicine check.
Oh god, that's a 10.
A 10.
I'm not dying. I'm just reaching the next step.
A 10 is all that is needed to stabilize someone.
Oh, thank god for that.
I did look it up while you were doing the check last time.
Excellent.
Okay, so you have stabilized Simply Red. You might have 2 more people to stabilize. So Clovis is up next.
Okay. I want to charge another person in the rafters.
Mm-hmm. Roll.
Yep. Okay. So I charge someone, and I roll really crap again, and so I got a 13.
Okay.
My first attack.
Your lance goes past. You can line up another person for another charge.
And I get another 13.
You're intentionally distracting them. Farman is now up.
That's what it is.
What would Plowman like to do?
Sorry about that. Same again.
There's no one on
I'm
the...
just going to step over to
Bringing the
another
blade
fella.
of glory.
Looking around you, there's a lot of charred bodies. Willie actually managed to get all of them.
Okay, so is there anyone still alive on the ground?
No one alive on the ground. Though you do see Willie and Dimitri are both poisoned.
Now, the people who were shooting
Yeah,
from the rafters and the ropes, they're about 30 feet up.
Yep,
But in their ropes, how far do the ropes come down?
all the way down.
How far from the top of the rope are they?
Some of them are on the rope.
Some of them are about 10 feet
Yeah,
down,
no,
some
it's-
of them are about 5 feet down, some of them are at the top.
Cool. Gonna pick a guy who, sorry, the lowest one, turn into the flying snake, and go up and bite the rope.
Okay. Not him, because you are poisonous.
I didn't. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, let's go for actually biting him.
Jeremy, are you doing the roll still?
So, yeah, back roll.
Sorry.
Yep. 9 on the die.
+8.
It's still a hit. You hit him.
Yeah.
You know the damage.
What's the damage?
It is
Saving throw.
it is a D4.
D4. Or 2 on the die. But hey, you used up one of his 20s, David, so
So
unfortunately, he's got an endless supply of them.
Yeah.
yes. To be honest, I have no idea why that dice keeps rolling 20 all the time.
Black magic.
It is. It really is. Especially when I say, "Look at me, roll 20," as it rolls 20. So next person up is Willie, who gets to make a con saving throw.
Okie doke. 2.
Okay.
That would be bad.
Do you wish to use a reroll?
Con isn't my favourite stat.
I
No,
know.
remember, if you fail it more than a few times, con is death usually.
Well, that's okay.
Okay, so you fall over. Dimitri, con saving throw.
At the end of my turn or beginning?
At the beginning of your turn.
Okay. Because my action was going to be to quaff a potion of antitoxin.
Mm.
Total of 16.
Okay, you can act.
Okay. I will quaff a potion of antitoxin. As I continue to look at this is the antitoxin from the scorpion folk.
Yeah, I believe it gives you.
Antitoxin is a base thing which is give advantage on poison saving throws for an hour.
Okay.
So but whether or not this works the same way, but I'm happy if that's simple. So.
Okay, so at the end of the round, you fall over. So the saving throw was to give you an action during the round.
Okay.
And then it is the assassin's go. You'll still be able to act next round. But if you succeed enough, it is you can break the effects. It's just you were just below it. Okay, so the assassins are going. Three of them are trying to hit the flying knight. One of them hits armor class 21. Doing 7 points of damage to our flying knight. Who now gets to make...
How much? Sorry?
7 points. You now get to make a Constitution saving throw, which you should be very good at.
Yeah, my rolling is just terrible tonight.
You don't
I
get to say that until you
getting above 5, which is better than half the other party.
No, I rolled already. This is the fourth 5 in a row now. I rolled another one. I got a 10.
You got a 10. Would you like to use one of the rerolls?
Yeah, I'll use my lucky reroll.
Okay, your lucky reroll.
That's what you meant. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got a 15 plus 5.
Okay, you are not affected by the poison. So you were lucky.
Great.
Lucky did help. Simply Red is currently unconscious. And Little Miss's turn.
Okay, so Simply Red looks stable now, doesn't he?
He looks stable now.
Who is closer, Willie or... hang on, first of all, is Willie unconscious?
Willie is on the ground at the same point Simply Red was when you dragged him away. He's not unconscious yet. He looks like he's almost there.
Right, who is closer, him or Dimitri?
Who would you like to be closer?
Willie would be closer because he's the one that's actually, like I said, Dimitri's been moving away from you every time.
Willie also moved away.
Yeah, but he only moved away once.
Okay.
Whereas I'll be continuing to move away.
I will run over to Willie and, like, I won't do anything to him. I'm assuming he's had the same effect, but there's no point trying to, like, help him yet because he's still conscious. But I'll run over there to try and help him if things get worse, which I'm expecting they will, based on what happens to Simply Red. And I will also... are there enemies between me and him, actually?
There would be some in the rafters, yes.
Could I reach any of them with a quarterstaff?
No, they would be more than 30 feet up. About the 30 feet up part. Too high to hit for quarterstaff. Unless you throw it.
I will attempt to throw a dagger at one of them.
Okay, that would work.
Like once I get to Willie, because I can move and then act, right?
You can move, throw dagger, continue to move.
Like movement's not a separate thing anymore.
Yeah, so I'll do that. And I will probably not hit because that was a 14.
Okay, you hear your dagger bouncing around the chamber.
And
okay.
Come down and land in Simply Red's neck.
Don't you dare. I will not be impressed.
I can help, I'll be letting go.
So Clovis is up. Another chance to charge down the people in the rafters.
Yep, I'll charge. I got a 20.
That is a natural 20?
Oh no, just a 20.
Okay, you hit. I had to ask if it was natural 20, but it is double damage anyway because you charged.
Alright, I got a 7 plus 6, 13, doubled is 26.
Okay, so you strike him soundly, knocking him off his rope to send him plummeting down to the stone below. You don't think he's getting up?
Oh, that's good.
You want to attack a second?
Sure, if that's possible.
That is possible. Because they are spread out, you still get your charge.
Alright, I got a 19.
That is also considered a double damage because you successfully hit on your charge.
Alright, so I got 16 times 2 is 32 damage. That's a lot.
Okay, there is a big burst of blood as your lance goes through part of him, sending him off the rafters down to the stone below as well. You don't think he's getting up either. So 2 successful strikes in a row.
It's good.
Plumman is now up.
Armin might be muted.
So, of course, I go to unmute myself and press hang up. Plumman is going to move to, like, staying within combat with this guy, but move on top of him.
Yeah.
So move to above him.
So he's moving.
And then he's going to drop.
He's going to climb up the
Sorry?
rope. He's climbing the rope.
No, because he's still a snake.
Oh, that's right. He's a snake. Yes.
Yep, and then he's going to turn back into human.
Okay. So yes, and drop on him.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check for you.
No.
15 on the die.
Wow. It's acrobatics dex,
It is dex based. Yes.
and it's going to be 16, I think.
Okay, the masterful martial arts adept on the rope beneath you looks up in horror as your foot hits his face. And then his head hits the ground under your foot.
Right.
And he doesn't seem to be moving anymore.
That was a lot more graceful than I expected it was going to be. I assumed it was going to be just art in his face, sit on him, and crush him as he hits the ground.
He rolled enough to turn and look up at your foot as you came down.
Oh. Alright.
And you
Turn
see
back into it.
Dimitri on the ground foaming at his mouth.
Oh, that's nice. That's always a good sight to see. I'm going to turn back into a snake.
Okay.
And that'll leave the end of my turn.
Okay. Then it is Willie's turn, who gets to make a saving throw.
Okay.
Your third saving throw.
A 2.
A 2. He's not having a great time at this, is he? So, Willie has moved into the dying state. And it is now Dimitri's turn to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Do I happen to get advantage on it with the...
You do get
head shotgun?
advantage. You do get advantage with the vial.
19 plus 4 is 23.
Okay, you seem to shake off the effects of the poison. It was horrific though, but you cough out whatever's left. It doesn't solidify in your throat.
Worse.
And you get to act this round.
Yep. So there's still some hanging from the rafters, but they've been greatly diminished.
They are
All
down
ones-
to 3 hanging from the rafters.
Yep. And all the ones on the ground have effectively been burnt to a crisp.
Or squished.
Squished, yep. And we're... Oh. Okay, how far away from Willie and or Simply Red am I?
You are probably about 20 feet from Willie and about I would probably say 40 feet from Simply Red.
Okay. I will use a move action to stand up.
50 from Simply Red because there was at least 30 feet between me and Willie when I was with Simply Red.
That's right. So either way, it's like it's within range, so I can stand up, move with a bonus dash action, and I will pour another dose of the antitoxin down Willie's throat.
Okay. So he'll have advantage on. Well, yeah, we'll see how that goes for the next hour.
The point is, Dimitri doesn't know what state he was at, so he doesn't realise he was already dying. So
all good. Dimitri's helping. Okay.
Cool.
From above you hear the remaining 3 people yell out that you will pay for your insolence at the Temple of the 8 Sweet Winds. As you see what appears to be a spider animate on their arm and bite them.
Dimitri's saying, "Oh, you're already here."
And they look surprised as they are bitten, as they fall off the rafters that they're on. As they hit the ground, they explode in a gory pile of flame.
What is it with this world and suicide? Like, really?
It's all the sun. They just never get a break.
So what we're saying is that
heat stroke all the time.
It's the land of the constant sun.
Simply Red's just fitting in then.
So it is then Little Mrs. Go.
Yeah, so I'll stabilise Willie.
Yep, that's a medicine check.
Yep. And we'll see if I can continue to roll at least somewhat effectively. That is a 16.
Okay,
I think that Stephen has taken all my terrible rolls, so I'm really liking that he's in the party, because normally I'm the one that gets 4s and 5s.
It is true. Stephen is saving you. So yes, you stabilize Willie, so he's no longer dying. And now we're out of combat, and if you wish to do any form of healing, you can wake up the stabilized people.
Well, Simply Red's about the only healer we have, unless Stephen's character does heal, so...
Oh, no. Willie's actually a significant healer, although unfortunately a lot of his healing's ineffective down in the Hollow World. So.
I know, the amusing thing is it was the 2 healers that were down.
Magic. I keep forgetting that, because I keep associating Martin with his old character, and so I don't have that, like, he does magic stuff.
What's that? Chump the Barbarian.
Charm the Barbarian.
Yeah.
The Angry Barbarian. Okay, so who has healing magic?
Not me.
Well, Dimitri's done
me very soon.
Dimitri's done his healing on Willie already, so he's going to go back and have a look at this. See if he can look at this compartment that was in the statue of Dakar.
Okay.
So.
It's very easy to get into now that the statue has fallen over.
Actually, before Willie regains his wits, I'm going to take out some of that powder from the dome up the top and shove it in his mouth and see if it does anything.
Okay.
Aside from cocaine?
You pour the powder
well,
in.
It's magic. You never know. You got to try these things.
Yes, you always learn from experimentation.
I'm not putting enough that it chokes him to death. I'm just putting a bit, like I'm taking a pinch of it and putting it in his mouth on his tongue.
Okay, you put a pinch on his tongue.
That's right. Dimitri's already tried choking you by putting a liquid down an unconscious throat.
Okay, so Dimitri finds inside that hole a strange rope, about 100 feet of it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't recognize the weave.
I'll compare it to the ropes that they were hanging from the ceiling on.
It feels completely different to those ropes. It's actually a lot softer to the hand, and probably about 1/10 as wide, yet feels stronger.
Okay. I'll be looking at that for a moment, but others could be potentially doing bits and pieces. What am I thinking of?
Does anyone in their inventory have a healing potion?
I do not. Unless something happened to Willie when I put that powder in his mouth.
I've got antitoxin, if that's helpful.
It is helpful for the saving throws before you get knocked to dying.
That's right. It's the stuff we should have done before we came in to take on the assassins.
I had one, but I'm pretty sure we used it a few games ago.
Well, it's not helpful now anyway, because like you guys have already sort of failed the saves that it would help with.
I'm in a healing potion.
Oh, heal. Okay.
Let's see. Technically, Willie should have his vial of Halev,
Yes, I do.
which Dimitri should remember because it was taken from one of the shrines near where Playman almost insulted your belief system.
Well, I mean, I was going to say the fact that it would be logical to, knowing that Willie is a healer, it'd be logical to have a look through his bits and pieces anyway to see, hang on, he might have something.
I have some of that weird holy water that sparkles that I got out of that, like, alchemist's room in the tower back on the surface.
Jesus Christ, Grace, why don't you just try some more experimental magic on it? Like, have you got any ivermectin?
I've got dried cat poo and catnip.
Well,
Well,
after getting the rope out of the compartment, they're both still lying on the ground unconscious type stuff.
They are.
Dimitri will mention, I'm sure Willie's got some healing stuff, Ellie, so just go through his pack, you'll find something, I'm sure.
Cool. I will go through his stuff. And out of curiosity, I'll just like randomly look at all of it. Because why not? I won't take anything, but I'll just,
Oh my god.
like, I'm
Okay.
curious and I like tinkering with stuff and fiddling with stuff, so I'll probably take it all out of interest and stuff, and then when I find the healing thing, I'll use it for him.
He does have a couple of things on him that you never saw. Besides the potion, so
the blue boots of Elvenkind, the cloak of displacement, and Redrian staff.
I've certainly got plenty of water available if you want to wash his mouth out or something.
No, I've got water.
Well, that's because Dimitri's got the decanter of endless water.
Oh, right.
So it could be a geyser of water going through him.
okay. So I am happy for you to split the potion with Willie and Simply Red.
Yep, and
Because we're tiny.
how many,
Racist damn.
what dice do you roll for a potion?
Okay, so it would normally be 8d4 plus 8 for this one, but if you're going to split it, it would be 4d4 plus 4 for each.
Okay.
But I didn't actually get any actual damage.
No,
Or I
but
dropped to 0.
you would drop to the dying and stabilize, and the easiest way to wake someone up from unconsciousness
Just to heal them.
is to heal at least 1 point. Otherwise, it takes an hour.
No worries.
So a short rest is
I'm
the other
okay with
way.
waiting an hour,
So,
but, you know.
I think
Just
Simply
saying.
Red, we're both competing to die sooner than later.
Willie gets healed for 16,
Yep.
and Simply Red is 14.
They are looking a bit better, and they both wake up.
Excellent.
Alright, let's go with the fight.
You missed all the fun.
Now, technically, Martin, if Willie does get poisoned again in the next hour,
Yep, he has
he may be able to
advantage.
get advantage on saving throws,
I agree.
depending upon how much will be actually down in unconscious throw.
What rule is that under?
That's from the antitoxin.
Nice.
The antitoxin gives you advantage for 1 hour.
Against poison.
But in the Hollow World, that would last for roughly 2 hours.
But as I said, like technically, it's the sort of thing we should have taken before trying to take on a temple full of assassins. We might have been using poison. But hey, there might be more of them still upstairs, up in the thingy. So
I do have a quick question, Martin.
Yep.
Do enemy spellcasters, if they're close enough to me, also trigger Wild Search?
Yes. In the Hollow World.
Yes.
So if you stand adjacent to them, you think you have to be within touching distance for most of them. They will have to Wild Search.
Yep.
How good are you at melee combat?
I'm not as good as the specialists in the party. But I can, like, potentially do damage, but maybe not to these guys because their AC is pretty high.
Well, no, it's probably more important as to what your AC is when you run into melee range and just stand around if you don't actually do anything to stop your spellcasters.
Yeah, I would.
But that's all right. They'll get all the positive effects from the search anyway.
Knowing my luck.
So yeah, you kind of there's nothing else you can do for the guys who are lying on the ground or otherwise. Having already given the advice and information to say, yep, really obviously got some potion or something to fix them up.
Mm-hmm.
Dimitri's going to go back towards the statue of Dakar that's now fallen over, holding this rope, having a look at the rope, but also looking up and finding, well, are there any hooks or anything like that would seem to be attached to? Is there any other ways that, any other mechanisms or pathways that this statue may have been hiding?
Well, one end is attached to the ground.
Okay, the rope's actually secured to the base of the statue, is it?
To the space under the statue.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm going to go and retrieve my dagger.
Yep.
And I'm going to wander around, and any of the assassins that still have the spider image on their wrist intact, I'm going to, like, use my dagger to cross through it.
Yep. You find quite a few.
I'll cast Identify on the rope.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, Dimitri was just about to try and just say, well, hey, if it's tied down the bottom, it looks long enough to reach a rafter or something at the top there, or just try and throw it over the top and see if you can...
You do know that Identify doesn't work as well down here, being divination magic. But you... What? And it will take a while. It'll take, I believe it takes 10 minutes to cast.
Okay.
And you're doing a ritual or a spell?
I think even as a spell, I don't think it's an instant.
Yeah. It's just a bit of chance of actually working through it. Although, no, because normally you can do it on a short rest, can't you?
Yeah.
You can normally identify stuff, so, yeah.
And so you go to throw it over a rafter above you, and it just keeps going up. And it just seems to be going straight up.
But it's still tied at the floor?
Yes. You can't see the end of the rope.
I'll give a tug on the rope to see if it's going to hold weight.
It seems to be quite taut.
He could do an Arcana check to see if he has enough knowledge to guess at what the thing is.
He can, yes. So can Willie.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Instead of doing Identify, Willie could at least do an Arcana roll and be like, well, my knowledge of lore and stuff potentially tells me X.
But is there any problem with casting Identify? I mean, I've got a shitload of spells.
Just the time, I think, would be the factor. So.
It's only 1 minute.
1 minute?
I think only, yeah. Well, certainly you could be casting it while we're looking at other bits and pieces and working what's happening, absolutely.
The main reason is detection and communication spells don't work in the Hollow World. That's the main reason you don't use it.
So you can cast it, but it probably won't do much.
You can effectively use the spell slot, but you can't actually get a result from it.
You may be able to cast it as a ritual in the Hollow World. Because things like detect magic will work as a ritual, it won't work as a spell.
Okay.
But only if you know it only if you know the ritual.
I do have it as a ritual as well.
Okay. But yeah, well, okay, having so it's gone up. I missed the rafter. Is what you're telling me? Is that
yes.
okay?
You missed the rafters and you kept going.
So I could use an unseen, and I can't use an unseen servant because
it's
that's a
conjuration.
conjuration, which doesn't count.
So give me a Arcana check for both you and Dimitri.
I've got 19 on the die, so that puts me at about 27-ish. So.
+3. Oh, 23.
Okay, between the two of you, you figure out
So
that...
that was 23 with the natural 20, was it?
Yes.
Nice.
So between the two of you, you figure out that this is some form of rope of climbing. Very much like the rope trick, meaning it's probably the only way to get through the dome above you.
But we also get the magic words, I hope. Or maybe we don't.
There is no magic words, you just throw it up.
It was a semantic component, which Dimitri was able to divine.
Right.
By throwing it up.
Bullshit.
Which amusingly was the way of activating the item, was to throw it into the air.
Okay.
There you go, you see?
Alright.
Dimitri actually, of course he knew exactly what was happening there, knew what to expect. Okay, well, I will mention that I think we've found our pathway up into the dome. How much do we feel these time constraints on us at the moment?
The longer you take, the chance that more of the assassins that Chatterjee had taken away from the dome will return.
True, yep.
So you're looking at another 30 to 40 assassins coming at you any moment, depending how long he can distract them for.
And admittedly, that was just the ones that are actually nearby. There might be more coming after that type stuff. So, yeah. Okay, well, I guess we can't sit and wait or anything like that, or come back later. Now that Willie and Simply Red are awake, do they have actually any healing capability independent from potions?
I'm pretty sure
It does.
my book has the capacity to like stabilize and stuff, but I don't think I can improve my health.
I thought
Is
that
that
you
right, man?
It helps you with your medicine check.
Oh god, I'm thinking of Pathfinder.
Yeah, like
We haven't got battle medicine, unfortunately.
yeah, no. He's off, lamenting the genocide of the Yetis.
baby
Let's
Yetis.
not talk about him. Yeah.
So I've got Healing Word. Which is
Yep.
a D4 +5 for Charisma.
Can I just quietly walk close to Willie and just like cough up a little blood? I don't want to say anything. I just, just suddenly.
Dry your eyes, Princess.
So who are two people that are almost dead, and we've got one person that's about a third wounded?
Playman is the one who looks the worst wounded of the group.
Playman. Okay, right.
You better heal Playman then.
Don't be ridiculous.
Who needs to carry my corpse out?
Right,
Hang on. So you've got Healing Word, and
I do have about half of my health gone, but
Yes,
I'm not in dire straits like you guys are.
so and how many Healing Words have you got left, Willie?
Well, 4.
4.
But you probably don't want to try and heal me with magic anyway at the moment, because
Well, he can do
you
it from a
could. We'll see
distance.
what happens.
Healing works, I believe, works at a distance.
Yeah, it's a bonus action, so yeah, it's more for an in-combat thing, but
Yeah,
Sort
but
of.
well, okay. If that's the only thing you've got, then hey, we can look at whether or not it's worth using right now. We don't know exactly what to expect at the top of the rope at the present time. But yeah, if people are happy to continue on at the present time with the concept that Willie will try and revive you if you fall unconscious, at least momentarily, as if the healing works a bonus type action, then it's something similarly in combat. That's a potential consideration.
But considering that I am one of the least useful in battle, especially with the way magic works in the whole world right now, I'm not the one really to focus any healing on.
No,
because-
I'm certainly looking more towards Plum and or Simply Red. So.
Yeah.
And I would say most wizards are shit, but whatever, it's fine.
Hey, he's not telling you to be doing it. As far as Dimitri's concerned, yeah, them fighter types, they've got 2 legs and 2 arms attacks, they must be fine.
So how many hit points?
Where's that
are you
cobblestone I threw at you before?
Just so you know,
Plum got through a combat without cutting anybody's limbs off.
Plumman is down 60 hit points.
Holy crap.
Well, 63
alright.
to be
And I'm
exact.
down 27, so
I don't even have 60 hit points, Plum.
same here. All right,
It's fine, don't worry about it.
I'll give you 13. That's 2 spells.
Take what I can get.
See, now you're on more hit points than some of the characters, some of the other characters are before they were wounded.
Yeah.
Well, close
How
to
many health did you heal, sorry?
You're on 35 now.
Yes. Well, there's those who can fly right now, probably looking mainly at the knight. Can he see the top of the rope at the moment?
No. You do know with
I can
magic
climb
like
it.
this, unless you're climbing the rope, you'll not be able to actually use the effect of the rope.
That's right. The rope is effectively taking you across dimensions or extra-dimensionally, so yeah. If nothing else, it's way to the hollow world.
Technically, yes.
Dimitri will at least give a test and see if it's going to be difficult to climb.
It is not difficult to climb. It actually feels effortless climbing up the rope.
Okay, so he'll climb up about 20 feet or so and then stop and look down and find out. I believe this is the way.
Does everyone follow?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Sir Clovis cannot take his griffin with him.
If Griffin can't climb the
Yeah, that's okay.
he can stay and make sure that the temple does not get overrun again.
So we don't get griffin stakes?
Okay, so the rest of you start climbing. As you climb up above the dome, above the temple itself, before you reach the dome, it starts to get misty around you. And each of you feels yourself somewhere else moments later.
Martin,
Yep.
do I have the strength to pull myself up with my new body? Because I'm used to being a lot smaller.
The rope itself is providing the assistance in climbing.
Oh, that is really good. This
The rope
strength
effectively
is-
acts the rope effectively acts as an elevator.
It's a rope of climbing, which is giving you a bonus to climbing it.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Enough so that the only way a person would not climb this would be if they basically were a 1 or 2 strength character. You'd have to have a big penalty to fail.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so each of you find yourself disappearing and reappearing, landing on a marble floor.
Okay. Can we see the top of the, can we see the rope continuing at that point, or
No,
does
there is no rope at this point.
the rope disappears from our view as soon as we step off the floor onto the floor?
It disappears from you. It does disappear, as you say. And you seem to be in a 30-foot room, onion-shaped, lit from some source you can't locate. The floor curves upwards becoming the walls, which are all covered with bizarre, beautiful abstract designs. It's dark overhead, but the chamber looks much taller than it is wide. You see a confusing spiderweb framework of thin, rust-covered pillars. They support the dome, starting in a circle halfway up the wall. They converge from all angles on a central support. A round metal disc about 10 feet across is about 15 feet above you. A thin, foul-smelling breeze blows from nowhere. You can't tell which direction. The place smells of garbage and old liquor. Suddenly you recognize the smell. It's the odor of the draconian liquor, tree's blood. At that point, I will give you a intelligence check to see who can remember what the significance of that is.
Tree's blood.
Can I just... This is when I roll the natural 20.
You roll a natural 20?
I don't know what it means, but I rolled it.
I got an 18. I swear Stephen has taken all my luck.
I got a 15. I don't know what bonuses I get. But...
Your intelligence modifier.
Well, Dimitri got 13 total, but I'm looking at my notes and thinking that wasn't Aurelia Case actually was a drunkard, wasn't she, or something on Tree's blood?
She was, yes. And because of your notes and the other characters' recollection, those of you who got at least 15 recollect that, and our natural 20 actually recognizes the scent quite vividly because, well, he used to drink it.
Yeah, has a history of being an alcoholic, so he should know his alcohol.
Not alcoholic, wine taster. There are a lot of wines to taste.
And some of them are non-alcoholic.
You also used to have a tendency to drink a lot of whiskey and spirits.
They're actually subsections of wine.
Okay, so is there anyone actually here other than ourselves?
Not that you can see. But you see the floor in front of you covered in miniature figures of people and animals, each a few inches high, looking like peasants, horses, local monsters, noble administrators. Mansabars crowd together, mostly in postures of terror. And you recognize a carriage and caravan, a train of 10 small wooden wagons heaped with crates and chests.
About the sort of ones that went to with the goblin tribute.
Yep,
type wagons.
It is the actual tribute wagons.
Well, I think Aurelia Case is around here somewhere. Based on the alcohol and the caravan.
And Willie does think that there is a space. Simply Red does think that there's a space above on the disc that's directly above you, because he thinks that's where the smell is coming from. And the place that you need to do the diagram is the floor beneath the disc, where all the miniatures are standing.
Oh, so underneath the disc?
Underneath the disc, yeah.
Okay.
Do we move them out of the way, or what?
What do the miniatures look like?
They are people, animals, and caravans.
Remember the old man.
Do they look like they could? Do they look like they are potentially innocent people that have been shrunken down, or do they look like enemies that might suddenly get bigger?
Well, remember when we were actually before we left the main world, when we went down the hole, before Plowman got to talk to his loving owl, there was the old guy that was a leftover from the caravan that was dying. He said that the caravan had been shrunk down.
Yeah.
And taken away. So
so we don't really want to.
I would think it's reasonable to assume that these are not enemy.
Yeah. And it's also reasonable to assume that they're actual people that we don't really just want to like kick away or anything.
No, you don't just throw them aside without care. Yes. While they start clearing some space, or Dimitri will suggest, hey, if you guys clear a bit of area in there, I'm going to do a ritual alarm spell around just to help ensure that we're not actually interrupted.
As he's saying that, I'm going to cast the light cantrip and try and like attach it to the ceiling of the dome so that we don't have darkness in here.
Okay, what
I
school
think you
is
said
the
there was
light
already
spell?
lit in here. We couldn't tell where the light was coming from.
It is lit, but you
Yeah,
can't
but
tell.
it was dark towards the top of the dome, and I don't really want death to like appear and fall on my head.
Fair enough.
Okay, so what is your what school is the light spell?
It's a cantrip, and it is evocation. So it'll be a
Evocation.
skill check, and
It is a
then
check.
I suppose it'll be a wild surge roll.
It is a DC 15 with a wild surge roll.
Oh, okay.
You get the skill bonus though.
Yeah, so I got a 17 on the skill.
So the light goes off, and does your wild surge trigger?
Or doesn't
Trigger
Oh,
something
you're
special.
actually going to let me roll for this, are you?
Yeah, I am going to let you roll. You get to choose to roll for this one.
I did not trigger it.
Okay, you don't trigger it this time.
That is excellent. So yeah, there should be now a ball of light attached to the ceiling.
Okay, and Jeremy, you cast your alarm spell.
I'm doing a ritual, so I'm taking 10 minutes to prepare and go through that process.
Okay,
So,
what is the
well-
trigger to the alarm?
Trigger
I
for the alarm will be
Sorry,
a-
it's a touch spell.
So you've touched something particular.
Yeah.
Can't you move the ball of light afterwards?
That's for dancing lights only. Light
Oh, okay,
itself
yeah.
has to be touched on an object.
Yeah, like I can try and throw the object at the roof, but I don't have, say, necessarily the dexterity to say try and stick a dagger into whatever the hell that roof is made of.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
So forget that.
you can still cast it as many wouldn't lose light around here automatically.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll just cast it on I don't know, my an empty belt pouch or something that I've just got on my belt.
Yep.
But yeah, the alarm spell trigger will be a something larger than like small size type stuff, like the dog or larger type stuff. That is not one of us.
Okay.
So
So, you do that. While he's doing that, are other people clearing the floor that he needs to do the symbol on?
I'm closest to the floor, so I should probably do that.
Yeah, I can do that too.
Will I be coming in too close to Dimitri if I do that?
Technically no, because you know the normal rituals generally don't trigger wild surge.
yeah, I wouldn't have thought this
so
would
I'll
actually take a while.
And you also realise you're not technically in the same Hollow World environment at the moment. That this seems to be somewhere different, with different
I
rules.
said we left the Hollow World.
I'm actually quite happy where we are because it almost smells like home on the ship.
It does. Okay, so as you do that, your alarm goes off, and
Okay, so I just get it finished. Aruga!
it doesn't quite go off that way, but it does activate. So it is there and waiting for something to activate, for something to trip it.
Oh, okay, so it's become active, it has to be activated.
Yes, it's become active,
Right,
not
okay.
activated.
Yeah, okay. And then, as I say,
Do you
I will
think
encourage.
get on top of that platform at some point?
You could get up onto that platform. It might take a little bit of effort. It is about 15 feet up.
I'm wondering whether or not it's worth trying to throw a grappling hook up there, or if we should just let Dimitri do his chanting and stuff and see what happens.
Well, I mean, okay, Dimitri certainly, when we got up here, Dimitri said, okay, well, we're going to be spending probably at least half an hour or so by the chances by the time he can clear the space, get it all ready, draw the thing, everything. I would suggest that whilst, yes, I'll put an alert around us, that others should be aware and watching, because there might be more of them assassins in the area, and that platform probably makes a good viewing point. So,
could Plowman throw a halfling that far?
Possibly.
I will hand a grappling hook with rope tied to it to Plowman to throw a grappling hook up there.
If that doesn't work, then we can throw a halfling.
Yeah, I'm good with throwing a halfling.
Okay,
Oh,
would someone like to do the grapple throw for Plowman, adding a +5 to the roll?
Oh, wait, there's a reason we're throwing a halfling? I just thought we were doing it for that regular pastime.
I'm just giving him some of an outlet for his frustration.
The problem is that if you throw a halfling up there and there's a whole bunch of hostiles, you'll have to jump down again, and then we still don't have a way up there.
You underestimate my halflingness.
Well, if he's up there, he will have the high ground.
That's true.
Not compared to the enemies.
there can't be that many up there. It's only 10-foot diameter thingy. So.
Yeah, and once I cut them off at the knees, they'll be just as short as me.
They might be like dominoes. They might be all stacked up, ready to jump down.
In which case, the target-rich environment.
Because, you know, I'm not paranoid at all.
Okay, so who's throwing up the grappling hook, and are you throwing it?
Well, I've given it as a choice for Plowman, so it's up to him if he wants to use that or a halfling.
I'm ready, boss. I'm ready.
Is Plowman on mute?
Sorry. Yeah, no. Let's do it.
The halfling or the grappling hook? That's unclear.
The
Or
halfling.
both. Have Simply Red stepping on the grappling hook and you start spinning and swinging it.
No,
Oh,
why don't I hold the
it's not
grappling
what's
hook,
the
and if he
grappling
misses, I'll throw the
Yeah.
grappling hook while in midair.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking.
I was thinking...
Regardless of what you were thinking, and regardless of what anybody else says, the halfling gets thrown.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that if Simply Red just holds the grappling hook in his hand, he can then hook it into the ground, hopefully, when he's up there.
Yep, cool. You do whatever you got to do, but it's had nothing to do with Plowman.
There's about to be a halfling flight.
Okay, give me a d20 roll, add Plowman strength, which I believe is 5.
Grace, can you roll this for me, please?
Oh, you don't want me to.
You trust
No.
me, too?
I rolled a 17.
No.
Do you want to take it?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so the halfling sails through the air and manages to grab onto the edge of the disc above you and put the grappling hook on it.
Can I then climb up over the ledge?
You then climb up over the ledge. You're in a 10-foot area looking down on the others.
Are there any baddies there?
There are no baddies you can see.
But can the rest of the party see me?
Yes, they can.
Well, probably if they step away, like, I'm guessing Dimitri can't because he's directly under the disc. But if the others step away from the edge of the disc.
If I stand right in the middle, is it possible that they can't see me?
That is possible, yes.
Right, can I stand in the middle and go, oh god, there's 3 of them! And then make some clanging noises and be like, ah! Ah! And then kind of like crawl to the edge and go, I got them all!
Sure. Give me one of your an appropriate check. I think that's...
Would that be what? Deception, theatricality?
Deception will do. Unless you'd like to perform it.
Oh, I'll perform it. I rolled
I
15.
personally want to see a couple attack rolls when he gets the natural 1 and falls off the platform.
So what was your deception roll?
6 though, not a natural 1, but a 6.
Total of 6?
Yeah.
Okay, you hear something that sounds very much like Simply Red used to when he was Nasty Stump, having time to himself.
Excellent.
And saying there's lots of them, there's lots of them. There's 3 all up.
Emphasis on by himself.
Yes. Very bad groaning coming from above you. So, Jeremy, do you start doing the yantra?
I will have if the space is cleared.
Yep.
I'll start wiping it down carefully with the Beggar King sweat.
Mm-hmm.
I will then take the paste from the Cobra's fangs, and commencing the chant, I will start drawing the yantra.
Okay. As you start to draw it, it starts. The white starts to turn to green and get brighter as you get closer to finishing the drawing. Basically, you believe you have to chant for quite a while to get this to work.
Yep.
It is a
That's
ritual.
what I warned them.
And it starts.
I told them, don't disturb me.
Starts to grow with a dim green light, the color of a new leaf. You're starting to feel the strain of this. You think it might help if others actually join in.
I'll keep the cat going, but I will start.
I'll keep watch.
I'll wave with my hand as I'm doing like the hand that's not drawing type stuff. Go, yeah, come on. Raise your voices type stuff, but when they hear it or understand it, or when they manage to actually pay any attention to the chant to find out what the chant is, different question. Okay.
And then
I'm not going to stop it in that case to find out.
Does anyone join in?
I join in.
Anyone else?
With the chanting,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
That is
I
fair.
didn't really pay attention when Dimitri was taught it, so I'm not really all that helpful with it. I can mumble generic words, but...
Okay, so as you're not sure what to do, a little horsefly buzzes past you.
Okay. Dimitri's got the strength of stamina and will to maintain himself. Don't worry about it, guys.
And then a second, and then a third. And in a moment, you're surrounded by a cloud of horseflies, as if you've just stepped into a swamp, buzzing, echoing strangely around you. So don't worry, Jeremy. It doesn't trigger your alarm spell. It's
That's right. I'm not going to be interrupted by the alarm, so that's okay.
And for the alarm spell, is it if something enters the entire area or crosses the area?
I think it's normally just the idea of crosses the boundary type stuff. So, near no larger than 20-foot cube until the spell ends. An alarm alert to. I think it could be a tiny or larger creature touches or enters the watered area. So.
Okay,
so you specifically aim for making it effectively dog size or bigger. But yeah, technically it's the area, it's not a border.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is good. Okay, so as you're chanting, everyone gets to make a perception roll.
Is Dimitri doing that too, or is he distracted by the chant?
He can make a perception roll too, just that he has disadvantage.
Okay.
You know the guy who's doing watch up top?
Yep.
Yeah, he rolled a 2.
Okay, he's too busy pretending he's been attacked.
Lucky we had Overwatch. Dimitri got 14 on disadvantage.
And Martin got 16?
15.
15. Someone roll for Plowman.
Alright, he's got 21.
Okay, Steve, what do you get, Stephen?
I'm not there. I'm guarding the other end of the rope, right?
I thought you came up and left your griffin behind.
Yeah, the griffin stayed the guard, but you could come up the road.
I'm sorry, I'm just
I'm just on the road for the next 10 minutes, just picking up my girlfriend. Could you roll for me?
Yep. Would someone roll?
I got an 8 on the die, so...
Okay, so you're a bit distracted by these flies. What did Little Miss get?
I only got 11.
Okay. Did any of you actually get 15 or higher?
I believe...
Yes,
Yeah,
Flyman did.
Okay.
and Willie did as well, I think.
Yeah, just on 15.
Okay, so Willie and Plumman both noticed that one of the horseflies is trailing little sparkles as it's flying. Okay, so
I don't know the relevance of that.
Well, it's obviously not normal.
Is it easier to hit?
and it is flying at each of the characters. So I will get
So it's like it's in command of the other creatures, or
well, it's doing something different to the other horseflies.
The point
Yeah,
is,
it's going to be a bomb.
the point is, the other horseflies are just flying around. This thing's apparently leaving a trail behind it.
Okay, so I will have Little Miss make a saving throw, wisdom saving throw.
Oh god, that's a fail. I rolled a 2, so...
Okay. Little Miss shrinks to a size of a miniature.
Am I still, like, conscious and aware of stuff and able to act, or am I just, like, frozen and aware, or am I not even aware?
You are now a playing piece on the floor.
Yeah, I gathered that much. What I mean is,
You-
am
you-
I aware of my surroundings still, or am I, like, unconscious?
You are unaware.
Okay.
Okay, and then it. This is when Plumman and Willie can act, because this is what you notice.
alright. So I will try to swat the significant fly.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
11 plus a number plus 7, so 18 to hit.
Okay, 18 is a hit.
Okay. And I assume it's with the dagger.
Yep. I'm happy with the dagger.
And that's 9 points of damage.
Okay, you strike it. This is with your magic sucking dagger.
Yes.
Okay, you strike it, and as you hit it, you see a woman go flying into the through the swarm of horseflies into the floor, and an alarm starts sounding.
Tinkerbell!
Is that a good thing?
Basically, you see what appears to be an old woman with white hair, dressed in black with gold trim. As she hits the ground, she unfolds 6 extra arms and stands up facing you with 8 arms.
I believe the answer is, to your question, is no.
No.
And
Well,
the-
it's a good thing you've revealed her, but it's not a good thing that she's there.
Because we're all on less than half hit points.
and the horseflies around you all disappear. So I will call initiative. Unfortunately, Grace is currently stoned unless someone has a dispel magic.
Dimitri does, but he's a bit busy right now. Because I'm guessing I can't really afford to stop the chanting.
Did I
Well,
get a
then-
chance to do counterspell?
You didn't know it was a spell.
Okay.
It's not something you've seen before.
And I don't know if it would work down here in Hollow World anyway.
So please give me an initiative roll, and we'll see how quickly Little Miss can join the fight.
Natural 20.
24.
So
I got
23.
24, so 19 plus 5.
So Simply Red got a 20...
Natural.
23.
23. What did Dimitri get?
So he's on total of 20.
What did Plumman get?
17.
Okay, someone roll for Sir Clovis.
I rolled a 5 for him. So I'm guessing he's probably about 8 or 9ish.
Okay, and not too bad on her.
24 for Willie.
24 for Willie. Okay, so Simply
I'm
Red.
glad Willie's on the ball.
Simply Red gets to have an action before the round starts.
All right, so I'm up atop, aren't I?
You are up atop. You hear the sound of the person come crashing down.
Right. Can I see her from where I am?
Yes, you can.
And does she look?
Actually, no, because you're in the very center of the thing up top.
That's cool.
You hadn't moved from that point. You just heard the
Can
commotion.
Can I walk to the edge?
You can walk to the edge, and you see her lying amongst broken bottles and boxes.
Right. Can I jump at her with wave? And I've got 6 words as I jump, if that's okay.
Yep.
Proteus is awesome. Reverence or death?
That was 7.
No. What?
You opened with
So I dive forward and try and get her with Proteus.
Okay.
Plumman audibly rolls his eyes.
As you go to jump, Wave holds still, waiting for her response.
God damn it. So am I suspended in midair? Because at that stage...
You hadn't managed to jump off the platform at this stage. You go to jump,
okay,
and Plumman's... you hear from the Trident going, wait for it, wait for it.
I guess that's what I do.
Okay.
Lucky that was a bonus one. You can't now, but you still won't act before you actually have another character.
Now it is Willie's go.
Alright, well, I think the magic draining dagger is worth continuing with.
Yep.
I'll give that a go.
You throw it at her.
Oh, sorry, I only got 30.
Or are you gonna run and stab her?
You just run in and just try and stab her.
Okay, you run in, and she dodges out of the way of your thrust as you try to thrust her with the dagger. Do you have a second attack?
No, I don't.
Okay. Now we're back to Simply Red. She hasn't responded.
So Wave's still waiting.
And you keep hearing in the back of your head, wait for it, wait for it.
Can I pocket Wave and pull out my sword, or is Wave still going to stop me?
You think you've basically activated the powers of Wave, which means that it's making you wait unless you can defeat it on a Wisdom saving throw.
No, what I would do is I'll hold action.
Yeah, okay, just delay your action and let you...
Can I hold action for her response? And as soon as she responds to anything apart from, yes, I am your humble servant, I will dive forward and, jab her in the nose bits.
Well, you can go for the delay until after she acts, or the reaction which gives you a single strike.
I think I'll delay until she acts.
Okay. That's why I thought I would ask the specifics on that.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, it is now her turn. And she seems to be ignoring you completely and pointing at you as well as everyone else with rude gestures. At least you think they're rude gestures. They could be arcane gestures as well. Hard to tell.
Just to clarify, though, a rude gesture is obviously a negative.
Yes. And says...
yeah, you got to wait till she finishes her action because you're delayed.
That's good. I'll accept that.
She says, yes, maybe a storm will blow away your lovely pattern. And then she swings one of her longswords at our little halfling friend on the ground. Apparently quite well.
Is that me or?
Yes, it is.
It's Willie having gone to run up with the dagger.
Okay, well I've got Cloak of Displacement, so It gets disadvantage.
She gets disadvantage?
Yep.
That's a good thing.
Okay, so would a 20 hit you?
Yes.
Unfortunately, not quite good enough.
Yes. I still have a shit armor class, but I guess 2 chances to get under it.
She hits you for 14 points of damage with that blow.
Okay, so I'm on 2 left.
You got healed earlier, so you should be on...
Oh, okay.
You're on 24.
Alright.
I'm keeping track of it as much as possible.
Nice.
And she has readied one of her blows to swing, and she seems to be casting a spell at the same time.
Each of the arms can operate independently, by the looks of it.
She looks very much like a Marilith, except she doesn't have the tail.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's basically the 8-armed goddess type, the Indian 8-armed goddess type thing.
She looks a lot like that demon.
Right. That's scary.
But yes, not half snake.
But their picture of her is a little more crazy.
Okay.
Having someone in a headlock while using magic and attacking with 2 blades.
I was going to say, yeah, it's a little more crazy because that's her state of mind as well.
Yes, and she looks very crazed. Okay,
so has she paralyzed me or anything, or am I good?
You're good. Her spell didn't go off.
Okay.
And she has a second set of hands also casting a spell, which does seem to go off. And a bolt of necrotic energy strikes our halfling up in the rafters.
Yay.
For 12 points of damage.
I suspect that's a no on the proclamation.
Yeah. And your trident says continue.
Alright, and I dive forward and I stab a bitch.
Okay. So you have advantage on the attack roll coming down because you waited.
Is that both attacks?
For the first attack.
Okay. So first attack is with wave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling. Does a 21 hit?
A 21 indeed hits. So you'll
Right.
be doing double damage on this strike.
Well, that's 21. Doubled is what, 42?
42, it is 42, yes.
42 damage.
Okay, bites in her. Looks like it didn't take a huge chunk out of her.
Okay. Second attack
Yep,
is with the short sword of the moon.
yep.
So it's just normal 1d6, but it's magical.
Well, technically, Wave is wanting you to use it as well.
Oh, Wave wants me to do second attack with Wave.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm not going to argue.
You have challenged someone, and it has answered the challenge.
That's true. 22.
Is a hit.
Okay. And that's 17.
Okay.
And have we... I think I've had a short rest since I last used the action surge.
Yes, you have.
Because that was a while ago, wasn't it?
That was against the snakes.
Have we had a short rest since the snakes?
You have, yes.
Excellent. Can I action surge?
You can action surge.
Alright. So that's a 19 to hit.
A 19 does hit.
And that is 19.
Don't forget that if Wave isn't letting you use your other weapon, if you end up using the trident two-handed, it actually does more damage.
Yeah, I'm using it one-handed just stylistically.
Yep, that's right.
I've got the other sword in my hand, but every time I go to swing it, Wave kind of spins me and attacks itself anyway.
All good.
Alright, final attack
You
with
use the
Wave.
other sword as a parry weapon.
Yeah, so that's a nat 20.
Nat 20, yep. Does double damage.
So that's 12, so 24. All magical piercing.
Fairly consistent.
Did I hurt the bitch?
She does look pretty beat up.
Excellent.
But still
And
looks
then-
like she has more hit points than you started with.
Well, I've only got 2 left now, so I'm hoping that everyone else kind of carries a load, because otherwise I'm dead in about 6 seconds.
Though, technically, her reaction does trigger.
Oh, great. Yeah.
But because of wave, I'll let your actions go first. Does
Okay,
an
that's
armor
fine.
class of 19 hit you?
I mean, no. Yes.
Okay. You're a bit optimistic with 6 seconds.
Hey, if it saves the party, it's worth it.
Okay, so she hits you for 15 slashing damage.
So I'm taking a nap?
Yes, you are taking a nap. But you did successfully get off your attack, which you wouldn't have gotten off without wave.
This is true. And I think I did actually hurt her a little bit, so...
You hurt her a lot.
hopefully-
You did close to 100 points of damage.
Holy shit, I wasn't counting. That's awesome. Alright.
I was.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
So the point being, we hope you hurt her significantly. If you didn't, we're in trouble.
Dimitri continues chanting.
Yep.
Plowman is now up.
Do you need
Sorry, I've been sort of.
Do you need
Sorry, go,
anything from
Jeremy.
I was gonna say, do you need anything from Dimitri on the idea that he's no longer chanting support from Willie? Are you happy that he can maintain it as long as I'm saying he's
I am
maintaining
happy.
it?
I am happy he can keep maintaining.
Yeah,
it.
you do you.
Oh, it was more a case of I wanted to make certain that I didn't have to make rolls or things like that.
If you get attacked, you'll have to make concentration rolls based on the damage you take.
All good.
So, what does Playman wish to do?
I guess we gotta get stabby.
No, Slashy. You're going to use the glaive, aren't you?
Yeah, fair enough.
15 on the die.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That is a hit.
Do we remember what the damage was?
It was
3d8 plus 6 or something?
plus 6, yes. 3d8 plus
Right,
6.
I got it.
Oh, you got dice? Okay.
Yeah. I have digital dice.
Dun, dun, dun.
21.
21 looks quite significant. She's still going though.
Okay, and let's go for another attack.
For an old senator, she's definitely taken more of a beating than you would expect her to take.
22 to hit.
That is a hit.
2 seconds, sorry.
I was going to say, the descriptions of being an old white-haired lady are not the descriptions of Corellia K, so is it?
No.
Because wasn't she basically a young, beautiful, layabout town type stuff? That, like, she was a senator, but there were certainly rumours that she was a bit of a lush.
Yes, it was.
23 damage.
23 damage. She is still going, though she does look pretty beat up. We are now up to Sir Clovis if he is back from his driving. If not, we can wait and move over to Willie.
So my go?
Yep.
So how close does she look to being dead?
She's taken over 140 points of damage. Close.
Alright, well I don't know this draining dagger, how good it is, but let's find out.
Well, you know people can't use magic while it's stuck in them.
That's right. If you could get a stab in her and leave it there, that's probably a good thing.
Alright, I'll try that.
Okay.
21.
21's a hit.
Okay, so yes, I will leave it in there.
How much damage does it do? That's also
question.
important.
Presumably it's only D4, but...
7 damage.
Okay. 7 damage. She swings at you with one of her swords. Hitting an armor class 21.
be a hit.
She does.
The cloak of displacement only works for the first attack on you, doesn't it?
How
Or
about
is it every attack on you?
how about a 18? Does an 18 hit you?
Oh, well, sorry, no, you're right. When I get hit by the cloak of displacement, then it doesn't work for the next round.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you get hit for 14 points of damage.
Okay, I'm still up. You said that I got healed up.
You did.
Yep.
You are still going, and she swings at Plowman, hitting armor class
10.
25,
Yeah, that's a hit.
I suspect that'll hit.
dealing 14 points of damage.
Can we assume that I'm raged?
Probably. So I will heal half of
We
that.
can half that.
Okay.
Wow. You're using the weapon of Dimitri. I suspect you're definitely raged.
Now Simply Red gets to make a death saving throw. Simply Red gets to make a death saving throw. Amherst.
I just
You
rolled.
muted?
No, I rolled.
What did you roll?
Okay.
Not a 1.
Not a 1. Did you get higher than 10?
No, I got a 3.
That would be a death.
That would be a, you got one
One-
towards
one.
dying.
Fortunately, they all cleared after the when you actually got back up to 0.
That is true. Dimitri continues spellcasting. And now Playman is up. You can see the woman is struggling with the dagger stuck in her. She couldn't get spells off.
Well, I got some good news for us and some bad news for her.
Yep.
You've got the power of Dimitri
Someone-
behind you, which will hurt her massively.
I'm pretty sure it'll hurt me too. 22 to hit.
22 is a hit.
Hang on a sec. 23 damage.
Okay, she goes down. And in a rather messy way.
Seeing
Cool,
Dimitri's
I'm just
leadership
gonna-
did come through.
Go right ahead and use my second attack to eviscerate her corpse.
Okay, you behead her. And
Hello.
split her from top to bottom.
Good show.
I'll get my dagger out.
Okay. As you search her while Dimitri's still doing his spell, she does have stuff on her.
Does anyone hear the cough of blood?
I don't think so.
That's right, no. You kept yourself nicely hidden.
Oh yeah,
Oh, no, okay.
I
You actually jumped down beside them, didn't you? You are actually beside them, aren't you?
You cast Healing Word.
You get 6 hit points back.
Thank you so much.
Just as an
Okay.
offhand sort of thing. 30 feet away. Bang. I think.
Well, he's actually right at your feet, isn't he? Because he
Yeah,
jumped down
no,
in front of it too.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I
she,
don't own
Oh, because
on
it was
it.
melee as well.
she has 3 vials on her neck, near her neck, that on a necklace that shimmer like the dust she left behind her.
Not to mention probably some cool longswords.
They are nice looking longswords, but they don't look particularly
They're not magical.
magical, yeah. What do you wish to do?
Okay, Dimitri's not involved in this because he's still going.
What spell you hit? I mean, I guess I can't interrupt you while you're casting, but.
He is doing a ritual that will take roughly 10 minutes.
That's. Really?
Yes, most rituals at a minimum are 10 minutes.
Okay, I would expect the 10 minutes was the absolute minimum of this one, so.
Or get out of spellcasting range for a start.
Okay, so you heal up Simply Red.
Well, I've only got 2 spells, so I'll save one of them.
Okay, how much do you heal him by?
6.
Well, you've got 6 initially to get him to be conscious.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing for the time being? He gets conscious?
Yeah, and then I'll go around the corner and sing you a song that won't take long.
What will the song do?
That's a song of rest, so it takes an hour or whatever.
Okay. I will give you an insight check.
Okay.
Don't forget, you still had Little Miss has been shut down.
Mm-hmm. That's what the insight check was for.
Oh, okay, right.
Oh, okay. Good point.
Well, but the insight check probably also reminds you exactly what the effect was, and because when we were in Galantry, we did hear about the stuff that would cause shrinkage.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This powder of oak in acorn or something. It's a potion that's designed to shrink things to a statuette form, or powder designed to shrink things to a statuette form.
So you can either use more of the circle, you can either use more of the powder or the spell magic to end it.
What do you use to end it?
A dispel magic or more of the powder.
The powder could be its own counter agent, or a standard dispel magic might work.
So these vials that are around her neck,
mm-hmm.
are they the component?
They
are the magical item, yes.
But they're the same. You said like similar with the same colour dust type stuff that was the trail leaving behind.
All right. Well, I'll use that on Little Miss.
Okay, you bring Little Miss back. She is no longer a little figure.
Yay!
Simply Red is coughing and up.
Does Little Miss have any, did time pass for her anyway? Or?
No, she still remembers the horseflies everywhere.
Right.
And Dimitri is still chanting, and it's still glowing green.
Yep.
Was that useful as a combat spell, like 10 minutes to cast a ritual?
Well, you weren't...
No, this wasn't the ritual that Doriki's doing at the moment. It was not designed for combat in any way, said before.
Right.
It's the ritual we've got to do to actually bring the gods back, or get to the place where we can bring the gods back.
Okay.
So, yeah. The ritual that Doriki's doing at the moment is what we went and grabbed the Cobra Fangs and the Beggar King Sweat, and went off to the leper colony and everything like that to do.
Okay, cool.
To get the ingredients so we could do this ritual.
I just didn't understand why it was being done in the middle of combat.
Well, the point was, it wasn't combat when we started.
Okay.
But it's what triggered. It is what triggered the combat.
So it was the sort of thing that, yes, we deliberately spent some time up in there, confirmed that there was no one around.
And she was polymorphed to the size of a housefly.
Which is why no one saw her.
And so when
So it was
he
just
started
me
the
and
ritual,
Palmer that saw it.
yeah.
And I said, yeah, you saw her sprinkling the dust around, because obviously she was trying to actually sprinkle the dust, so she was going to try and shrink everyone.
But it didn't quite come off.
But you spotted her, so therefore, and then swatted her. So it really saved the day, saved the party.
We really did save the day. So the Yantra's line of powdered bone continues to go green until it becomes so bright you can barely see around you. You feel a wind blowing and gushing. For a moment you feel like you've been here before, and then you have the same feeling again and again, a sense of deja vu multiplied.
This chant was pretty monotonous.
You've lived this instant 100 times before, so he's been chanting a long time. The same moment flips past over and over like a deck of cards riffled in front of you that always shows the same card. You try to speak, and you begin the same word a dozen times. But in every repetition, the answer's green glow grows brighter and brighter, until... you see a shimmering door appear. Let me where is that? You feel the same. You're in your own bodies, and you're wearing and carrying your what you had before, but everything else around you is different. You're outside the floating dome of the Temple of Eight Sweet Winds, but it is still Dahastra. You see crowded streets and the hollow world's patchwork sky. People are crowded around the temple, killing themselves in droves. Except the whole scene looks flat, two-dimensional, like coloured shadows moving on screen. And you see the domes floating in front of the city in a deep green nothingness. Everything you see in front of you, people, things, even the ground, looks like it's surging towards you, but never gets any closer. Everything except the dome is leaving a long stream of colour behind it, like an infinite series of duplicates. You see a man walk by across the screen, as you might say, and his path leaves a stream of duplicates in a long tube-like shape behind him. A crowd of people leave tubes that intertwine and rebound from each other as people surge forward into their mass suicide. Each thing that stands still leaves duplicates that recede away from you in a scrambled mass of colour. You hear sounds, but the sounds are muffled, as through by a blanket. You can't smell anything. You haven't moved, and the flat screen of images hasn't come any closer. Yet all these ongoing paths remind you of a current of the gently flowing river. You can all have an insight roll.
Dimitri knows what's going on. Max,
I rolled a 19.
11.
Inside, yeah, 19 flat.
Dimitri's on 25.
Okay, those of you who got at least 16 realize that you're watching what appears to be the stream of time for your world. Dimitri recognizes this is what is called the Emerald River.
As in the flow of time, we're talking about the Emerald River, the action of the Emerald River, but what they're referring to is the flow of time, is that right?
That is correct. Suddenly, you notice a new feature sticking out of the dome, a bright object from the point on top. It's a thin rod about 100 feet high with an onion-shaped dome underneath it. The rod looks exactly like a buoy, a floating channel marker of the type you see in many harbours. But the buoy leaves no trail of duplicates behind it, unlike the objects around it.
Are we leaving duplicates of ourselves?
You are not leaving duplicates of yourselves.
When we look at the others? No, okay.
You've stepped out of the time stream.
Yeah, that's right. So are we standing on anything, or are we just looking down on the world type of thing?
You're currently looking down on the world.
And apparently not standing on anything directly, is that right?
You're floating. You're not standing on anything at all.
But then there's this buoy that's floating with us, is that right?
There is a buoy that's sitting on top of the dome that doesn't seem to be in the flow of time.
And does this, does the buoy appear to be two-dimensional?
It appears to be three-dimensional, unlike the rest of the things you look at.
Right. And does it, Dimitri will aim to actually at least move towards it on the idea of, hey, it's something different from the rest of the world at the moment?
Okay, as you move towards it, give me a wisdom saving throw.
16 plus a total of 21.
Okay, as you move towards it, you find yourself sitting amongst the gentlefolk. Having taken everyone with you.
Sorry?
Having brought everyone with you.
Oh, we did, okay.
And you can sort of see them going about their normal day-to-day activities.
And are they looking two-dimensional or three-dimensional?
They're looking two-dimensional in the flow of time.
And they're leaving the tunnel of time behind them type stuff?
They are, yes.
Just confirming, Yem's not around.
Yem doesn't appear to be around. Give me another wisdom saving throw.
22.
22. Okay. You find yourself standing before one of the statues of Dimitri in the Millennium Empire, admiring its form.
You technically sort of got a tunnel of time behind it as well still? Is it two-dimensional?
It is also two-dimensional.
And obviously that three-dimensional buoy is not nearest as such because it's still in Desatra.
It's still in Desatra. You're finding it very hard to focus on it because it seems to be outside the flow of time.
Yes. But hey, we are too. So. Yeah, well, okay.
Can we just walk towards it, or is that going to affect the river?
Well, no, because right now it's about 1,000 miles away over the ocean. Because we're actually in the we've got the Millennium Empire, as opposed to Desatra. So, so Dimitri's going to be aiming to, say, like try and will back to the temple.
Okay, as you wheel back to the temple, you notice something odd as you all move back towards it. It's quite obvious. It's the only place that time seems to be moving in the opposite direction is above the buoy. It's like an area of folded space above it that seems to be going in the opposite direction of time.
In the conversations that we had with, or the instructions that we had with the Sirius, had he explained or given any hint as to exactly how Thanatos had got removed the other gods?
Give me an insight roll.
Typical.
20?
No. It was a bad roll, 11, 16.
Okay, in that case, it's enough for you
to
think...
Unlike the 18, 17 and 18 that I had previously.
You think it might have something to do with the distortion above the buoy you see?
Now, we're trying to approach the buoy with what took me to the Gentlefolk and then to the Millennium Empire, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Okay, without approaching it further then, can we start just examining the buoy and the distortion and things like that?
You want to try to approach the distortion?
The distortion's directly above the buoy though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But so if we're floating, we're not actually, we can move in 3 dimensions quite happily.
You can move in 3 dimensions quite happily.
Well, technically, we can move in 4 dimensions quite happily, apparently. Or possibly we can't move in time. Might be a problem. Well, okay. Initially, I'll just stop and try and look from a distance, but then if we'll try going to the distortion as an alternate to the buoy.
Can I pull out my book to see if holding it in my hand does anything?
Makes you feel better. You feel you feel a connection to the distortion.
Right. And can you guys hear me? It's kind of coming out a bit.
We can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Apparently you can't hear us.
Yeah, it cut out for a second. Sorry, just went quiet. Alright, so can I try and use the book, hold it in my hand, and see if I can manipulate where the buoy is, if I can do anything? I don't know what I could do, but if I can kind of stare at it and see if anything happens, holding the book and concentrating.
Okay.
I'm assuming I'm no longer chanting, is that the case?
Yeah, you're no longer chanting.
Yeah.
Or at least you don't think you're chanting.
Well,
you could still be chanting in the other place. Okay, so as you concentrate on the buoy, give me a insight roll, Emerist.
Oops, that was a cup, not a die. Oh, I rolled a 19. Insights plus 0, so 19.
Okay, so you find yourself concentrating on the distortion above the boy instead of the boy itself. And you feel yourself drawn to it, as if you can go into it.
I would like to just turn to everyone and go, I feel the book is helping me. I feel like I can step into the distortion and peace out, fellas. And then I do so.
Okay, so they all seem to go with you.
Oh, good. That's alright.
There is a low crackling sound as you pierce the barrier. You think of a thin silk tearing. Beyond you see pure white light so bright it blinds you. Even after you're blinded, somehow you still see it. It stretches into the distance in all directions. There is nothing here except the light, but you feel much more than you see. You feel like you're being watched, being analysed down to your bones. It's like something is rifling through your mind and casually examining your deepest secrets. After all you've seen, this is probably the worst ordeal you've been through. You turn to go, but there's nowhere to go. The barrier is gone. A voice in your mind, a voice you used to think your own thoughts, it says, I am Asterius, or as some of you know me, Simarak, who has guided you on the long journey here. You have done well, but the end is not achieved. The world you know, beneath the sky and within the core, remain in peril. Those who protect the plane have gone into the past, lured away by the guile and treachery, lured by the eldest one of our number, Thanatos. And I believe we will stop it there for tonight. As next session, you get to have a go against Thanatos himself.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Lucky we're at full health, fully prepared, we're good to go.
Yeah.
I can see all the red.
Exactly. Admittedly, going up against Thanatos in a timeless world won't make much difference. But thank you very much. We'll catch you guys next week or the week after.
Thank you. And yes, I am glad you got this far, because this is you have managed to reach Simarak or Asterius and meet him in person. So
What did you say? Like, we've hit a milestone?
you have hit well, not a level milestone, but you will soon.
Yeah. No,
Oh, okay, yeah.
From Dimitri's perspective, we finally met the guy that keeps interrupting my sleep.
Very much so.
To go kick him in the shins.
So if you have any questions to ask the god, next session will be the time.
Have him ready.
So that's why I'm giving you guys a 2-week break, so you can think of any questions you might want to ask, so you're not put on the spot tonight.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend starting with why is the sky blue, especially in the Hollow World.
Yes, that is a good one.
Okay, have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Hey, thanks so much, Cotton.
I'll see you guys later. I'll head off myself as well.
Yeah.
Alright, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Night all.
I'll see you all later. Good night.